It's Friday. I think I remember to turn my mic on.
Yes.
Here's the thing that turns on Cece and Quinn. And this is the
Hello.
opportunity for Michael to surprise me. Michael's not here yet. That's
No.
fine. But we're here. Hi, everybody. It's me. It's Thades and Quinn and Cece, and it's Friday.
Whoa,
And I was
hi.
very rude to your aunt. I told Cece she had to wait to ask me how my week was until we were live, because that's
Aw.
that's part of what this is. It's part of, like, everyone wants to know.
Do you have a good week? And he was like, yeah. It was like, oh, that's great. Tell me about it. He was like, no, not yet. It's like, okay.
I try to be a little more gentle about it.
Only when the camera's rolling.
Jeez. Yeah, nothing exciting happened during the stream starting thingy. Nothing. Quinn didn't run like the whole length of his house.
Fradgy, thank you for 28
Back.
months. I don't know why that alert's broken. It's broken in a really subtle way. I'm not going to fix it. I'm going to leave it.
Fradgy.
I'm going to make a note. The important parts
Those
worked.
are a lot of months.
28 months is a crazy amount of time. I have known Fradgy for a little bit longer than 28 months.
Aw.
Just a little bit longer.
A little bit longer. Not 28 years. But it will be 28 years in 7 years, 6 years. Holy fuck.
Wow.
I'm
That's very long.
going to do the math. It's been a long time. Sorry, I'm crunching. That's the end of my cough drop. No more of those tonight. I do not have COVID. I stuck the thing in my nose. It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I found out it is
Do you
not
take
COVID.
a piece out of
It's a little
a piece of your brain? It feels like it's tickling your brain. In my
Yeah, I mean, there's
opinion.
not much left, so I wasn't too much. It was really hard to get what's there. It's all pushed up in the back anyway now. But I do not have.
Sad.
I do not have the COVID times. I have a very, very tiny tickle in the back of my throat that feels
Yay.
reminiscent of the COVID experience, but that is kind of overselling it. It's
Mm-hmm.
not as bad because that tickle did not go away. It did not go away. It was
Yeah.
terrible.
We were talking with my parents that they got COVID like 2 weeks, no, like a month before I got it last week, and they were mentioning that, like, yeah, you get like a lot of antibodies for the COVID after you get sick, but you are mostly vulnerable to everything else. So
Yep.
getting sick afterwards is like very usual, very common, that you just like get a bronchitis or you get the cold, you get the flu or whatever, because your immune system is just like exhausted, I assume.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm also drinking things
How's
for
it?
my cough.
It's
Yeah.
it's a
Just-
medicinal
just-
tea. That is not anything else in that cup. I don't want anyone to.
No,
Get any
it's
ideas?
just paracetamol, like in
My
a
cup is full
little.
of secrets.
It's like a lemonade, like a hot lemonade that you drink.
That's my
Oh.
favorite thing to do.
This
I know,
sweater?
right? Yeah, they're like so comforting,
This
and
is-
it doesn't feel like I'm like taking meds. It's like, oh no, I'm just
Yeah.
taking like a nice warm cup of lemonade.
Yeah. I
That's
do like half water, half lemonade, and then honey, and then a drop of peppermint, and it'll just
Ooh.
shock my like entire existence back awake. And I'm like, oh my god, I can breathe. I feel like I'm healing myself with every sip.
My parents are big on the whole sort of like lemon and ginger and honey,
Let it go.
and like sometimes oh, I don't know how it cumin. No, it's not cumin. It's the white, the yellow spice kind of thing.
Turmeric?
I don't know. Turmeric, yeah, and some turmeric. And that, they say that is, well, it's very sort of like Latino parent kind of thing. Like, oh yeah, they will reset your whole system. It's like, Mom, I get it, but still, there's modern medicine as well. You should go
Yeah.
to the doctor.
Yeah, no, at some point you put the lemonade down and you
Yeah.
take your medicine. And then you can come back and take your medicine with the lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
They
be
can
careful with
complement
vitamin.
each other.
Be careful with some, like, I
Oh,
get on this spiel all the
yeah.
time. Vitamin C cancels out some medications. Do your research. But if you can have the tea with your
Yeah.
medication, then do so.
Yeah. It cancels out some ADHD medication, right? You didn't really can't have like orange juice with your ADHD medication.
I haven't.
I think I think it does a couple of other like medications react to like vitamin C's and like different things like that. Like grapefruits and
Hmm.
chocolate are a big one that messes with a lot of stuff.
It's so hard. You gotta.
I
You
know
gotta.
that milk also sort of like cancels out some stuff,
Mm.
like some flu medicine. I remember
Oh,
that I
okay.
couldn't drink it with milk because otherwise my body didn't sort of like process it well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's interesting that no one. I mean, I've never heard of this citric acid versus ADHD medications taken until recently, and I don't know if it's because recent ADHD medications are different, which in some cases is true, or because
Oh.
we don't put money where we need to with research all the time, and we just didn't know until now, which makes me feel pretty upset because there are a lot of folks over the
Yeah.
years who've had trouble with medications like that and other things. So in general, yeah, if you get a medication and you're wondering if it's good to look up the thing you're taking and then read about the things it interacts with. Avoid the side effects section. That section is just going to stress you out, probably unnecessarily. But yeah, read the interactions sections. And then if any of those interactions make no sense to you or confuse you, that's the pharmacist's job. Call and say, I want to speak to the pharmacist. I have questions about this thing I'm taking. They have to talk to you.
Yeah.
And you can ask pointed
Yeah.
questions about, will this conflict with my vitamin? Was vitamin C okay to take with this? Will I have any interactions with it?
Mm-hmm.
They'll tell you. And they're
Yeah,
always
I
going to
only
hedge on
learned
be
about
careful.
it because my nephew, the one that used to live with me, he got diagnosed with the ADHD, and his doctor told him, like, please do not take this med with orange juice because otherwise it's not going to work. He was like, it's okay, I don't like oranges, because he's weird like that. I mean, he doesn't like orange juice because he doesn't feel like any orange juice tastes like oranges. But yeah, he's also on the spectrum, so he's very picky he's a picky eater as well.
And
The textures and the
oranges are
flavors that
really
he
sugary.
likes.
Oranges are really sugary.
Yeah.
And orange juice is essentially soda. It's got so much additional sugar in it. You're basically having a Pepsi. It's like one of the best kept secrets, non-secrets in
For me, it's like
beverages.
it needs to be like sour. It needs to be acid,
Yeah.
and they never like acid is enough. They're just sugary.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it's very funny because my favorite. I'm sorry, this is very random. Like, who cares about this? But my
care.
favorite orange juice is Florida Naturals. You know, the one that they make over there on your side of the hemisphere, a Florida Naturals orange juice, because I feel it's like the only orange juice that I've ever tasted that tasted like orange.
have you
So yeah, thank you, California oranges or
Have-
Florida oranges.
do you
whatever.
squeeze them? Do you ever squeeze oranges? Like it's like for $50
Yes.
you get like a squeezy. I have that. Once in a while I'll do that. I love that stuff. It's way better.
Fiance, I mean, I don't like squeezing things. I just find it tedious. But Fiance actually doesn't mind doing it, so he will make lemonade from time to time. He'll make me squeeze orange juice.
No, Gamer Ham. Yeah, the commercials. I mean, it's not going to surprise anybody to learn we can't trust the commercials. But did you all know that like the food pyramid is a bullshit grift from the bottom up? Like the amount
I'm
of
not shocked.
the amount of grains recommended ended up being like triple or quadruple what was actually recommended by the physicians they talked to. And dairy was not recommended. They put it on the pyramid anyway because they wanted to sell more dairy. And they cut the amount of vegetables down to like half or less because like they didn't think people wanted to eat vegetables, or they saw a thing recommending vegetables, they thought they would ignore it, and they wanted people to look at the food pyramid and use it to inform their purchases to make them money. So rather than having a thing doctors can point at and say, yeah, we know you're not going to do the right thing, but please think about, sweating 20 minutes a day and eating more vegetables, right? They wanted to have a good selling thing, so they made the pyramid a flippant lie. So thanks,
I really
80s.
do like milk though.
You don't
I
have to have
still
milk.
drink
It's not
milk.
recommended. Like you don't. It's not. It's if you enjoy milk, it's fine. But if you don't want any dairy at all, you can literally live without it. It's not recommended.
Yeah. No, my mom has the beginnings of what is the name? Translating like illness names into another language is so weird. Okay, so in Spanish is the beginnings of osteoporosis, which is something with your bones. Like her bones are getting too fragile. So obviously she needs to take not more milk, but like calcium supplements. But yeah.
More calcium, more
So I'm also like very careful. Like I'm drinking all my calcium.
yeah, bones. They have calcium as a part of the process, but they're primarily protein too. So you gotta make sure you're getting enough protein in there. So it's literally like your
Yeah.
body needs that to build stuff, so you don't get osteoporosis
Yeah.
or similar things. Yeah.
Considering the whole sort of like the fact that I have sugar problems, protein is like a big part of my like diet, so to speak. Not diet in the way of dieting, but the things that I eat normally, because I need to cut on so many carbs that I get the feeling of like feeling full from mostly protein.
Sure. Yeah.
Like that's the easiest way for me to feel full with whatever I'm eating. So everything that I eat gets like some kind of protein sort of like thrown in. Whether that's like, I don't know, eggs or
Ooh, eggs is a good one.
I do like eggs.
yeah. Yeah. And they're not as I don't know if this happened also in your country, but eggs had like a bad rep in my country for a while there. Like they were like, "Oh yeah, but you're going to have like high cholesterol if you have too many eggs."
Cholesterol.
It's like, yeah, if you have like 30, not that many. No one eats that many like in one sitting.
I could down some eggs.
Yeah, that's not
Boiling
gonna.
eggs.
Everything is better with a fried egg on top. In my
I mean,
opinion.
that's true. That's 100%
That's
true.
very
Yeah.
true.
I mean, yeah, that's like, what is it? If you ever watch that show Chopped, I don't know if it's still on the air or not.
Yes.
There's probably some variant on the
I
air. It's
love chop.
very popular, right? But like, there's sort of an unspoken adage in Chopped that when they made, I have the Chopped cookbook here, and the Chopped cookbook, brief aside here, hashtag not sponsored, is a really fun cookbook in that it presents recipes to you that, you know, they're doable, but you probably won't make them. And the book is really conscious of that. It says you're probably not going to make some of these because they might seem overwhelming. Please try, but if you don't, here's what you really want to take away. Everything about cooking is about understanding how the constituent parts work together and on their own. And so like try some of these simpler ones, and then there's a 2-page spread on how to make sauces from constituent parts and how each thing works together, which is I've used to make. I don't know how to, I'm not a chef, but I was able to make some pretty damn good sauces with this page. But the whole the first recipe in the book that is the most important, if you make no other recipes, try this one. It's carbonara. Why is it important? Well,
Ooh.
on Chopped, you will notice that if they get a really random fucking ingredient and they don't know what to do with it, they make a carbonara with it, which is just bacon, eggs, cheese. You add bacon, eggs, and cheese to something, it's going to taste good almost every time. So that's why carbonara is the way to buy. So
You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean,
With that
hashtag,
combo.
yeah.
Hashtag carbonara.
I do not want to be a chef, but I appreciate that, Echo. Yeah, there's a lot of energy and work it would take there. I just don't have that. I am a stream chef serving up this hot new content
Serving up these facts.
every Friday. I don't know about facts. I mean, my I would like to think some of the things I say are facts, but I don't do fact checking on the air very often. It's hard to say. I just deal with that silence. Everyone thinking, "Wow, does Thades not know everything?" No, I don't know everything. God, I used to.
I heard something crash, but I see mate. So I'm his wife.
That does happen to me sometimes. Like, mostly my fiance because he's like so overexposed to me. But sometimes he's like, "Oh, what is this?" Or "Do you know the meaning of whatever?" And sometimes I need to remind him, like, I'm not a dictionary. Like, I may have a big idea of what you're talking about, but that doesn't mean that I'm an expert on everything. And he tends to tell me, and it's very sweet. It's like, "Oh, it's just like whenever I ask you something, you always know. Like, you always give me like an answer that feels like fulfilling of what I'm like trying to understand." I'm like, yeah, a lot of time it's just me guessing, actually. Just like making like an informed, not informed, but like
Just an
a
educated
full
guess.
sort of like
You were in
big
college a
idea
long
of,
time.
like, oh,
If you're in school
this might be related to this.
if you're in school a very, 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 very long time, as your aunt and your dad have been, after a while you get really, really good at vetting sources and kind of being able to recognize at a glance, is this actually even worth considering? And your guesses get better. They're not always still accurate. We still make mistakes. But if there is a benefit to spending a bajillion fucking dollars on my college diplomas, it's that my guesses are a little bit better. In other words,
Yeah,
maybe I could
because
have waited for Wikipedia.
you understand like sometimes like the parts of a word just because you heard it or something similar
That's
in
true.
other things,
Mhm.
and you hear it like in reference to a certain topic. So it's like, oh, then this other thing must have some kind of relation with this, and you may be like completely sort of like have no idea what you're talking about, but you have like a general sense of like, oh,
You can still
this
be
might
very
be.
wrong.
In
Sometimes
my
word parts don't
country,
work, but yeah.
in my country, they have this saying that journalists know about many things, but they know very little, which tends to be true. People tend to ask us stuff like relatives, and we have like a general idea of what they're talking about. Obviously, that depends of whatever we actually specialize, which is something that people don't know. Journalists do specialize in topics, and we just don't know about everything that is going on in every part of the world. Also, since like I'm specializing in science and specifically astronomy, I have friends from college that they specialize in health and health departments. Others they do sort of like politics. Others they do culture, literature, and there's a bunch of things. Like one of my friends is actually a K-pop fashion journalist. She's very good at what she does. She does like very good sort of like research to
For
be able to
specifically
sort of like,
K-pop
because
fashion, that's a very
Yeah.
specific thing to be focused on.
yeah. And she got quoted by like my country CNN, because CNN has like a lot of, it has like Spanish CNN, and it has like CNN from different countries. So my country has a CNN, and she got interviewed in one of those because I don't know, like a major sort of like K-pop event was going on in my city, and so they needed like her expertise. We were all very proud of her.
I will not be doing a cooking stream anytime soon, Rin. I was told a long time ago that I looked like Alton Brown. I don't think that's true unless you are squinting or have gotten something into your eyes, but just take that as what it's worth. The borders are snazzy lost. So if you look at the borders around my camera, the green borders, hopefully you will notice that they are dramatically improved. Apparent Apparition likes to do pixel art as a hobby, and he saw there's a lot of artifacting because I threw mine together quickly and just kind of used them, and I'm not an artist. And he said, I could probably clean those up for you. And I said, okay, go for it. And he did it. And then I said, no one's going to notice but me. I'm the only one who's going to see pixels of difference, but I see them and they look fantastic. They're very, very expertly done. So please take a moment to appreciate that. Yes, the borders are different
very
and they do look
snazzy.
better.
Hi, Violet.
Violet.
Hey, Violet. My thoughts on tofu. I'm not a big tofu fan. Those are my thoughts on tofu.
I hated tofu, and it has slowly worked its way back up into my food palette. It has to be done really well, though. Like, tofu is basically just a nothingness blob, and you have to do something with that blob
So here's
to make it a good blob.
Here's why I don't like tofu. Tofu starts as a nothingness blob. And then when you cook it, sear it, flavor it, sauce it, it is then a flavorful thing around a nothingness blob. You cannot take away the fact that tofu remains a nothingness blob. And I've had tofu at all sorts of
I
like
beg to
expensive
differ.
restaurants, crappy restaurants, people who are vegetarians and vegans who cook the shit all the time, people who
Tofu's
cook it for their
not
first
vegan.
time.
Okay.
I've had it in spicy
yeah, but
chili. I've had it in burgers. I've had it in salads.
This
I've had
is-
it in sushi. It is always
Holy heck.
a nothingness blob. I have sampled it
but
hundreds of
this
times.
is a very Western view on tofu. Because if you go to any Korean place and you taste their banjan, the little like appetizers that are free with the food, that's one of the best tofus I have ever had.
It's not a
I
block,
think
right? Like there's
that-
actually tofu that's not the
No.
block shit we get in
It's
American
thin.
grocery stores. Yeah.
It's because you need to know how to treat it and how to prepare it to sort of like bring out the flavor. So it's like sort of like like a chicken fillet kind of thing, but it's tofu, and it's
Ooh.
clearly being sort of like pan seared, and it has like this little sort of like chili oil kind of thing. And I just like,
Ooh,
if I
that's
could
Greco.
like just eat a whole plate of that, I will eat it just by itself. And the fact that they just give it to you for free really sort of like boggles the mind, because it's not something that you order necessarily. It's just the banjan, like they're like little plates that they put to for you on the table while you're waiting for whatever you order. I think the people who made the tofu on the first plate, like the Asian community, really knows how to make and how to play with it in terms of flavor. And the westernization of tofu has kind of like gave it a bad rep. It is a very hard ingredient to work with. Like, that's definitely it. I've noticed that I really like silky tofu because the texture is not as gummy for me as the other one, and I like it a lot in desserts. You know, like tofu, but sweet
Tofu
was kind
does
of
be
like
good in
a
dessert.
revelation
This is
for
funny.
me.
Yeah.
Like when I was doing like this, whatever, this recipe, and instead of like using cream cheese, they used silky tofu, and it was like, this is so creamy. What the fuck? And since it doesn't taste like anything, you're not adding like another flavor that sort of like tries to sort of like fight it out with the original flavor that you're looking for, right?
I mean, I'm not saying I won't try tofu another time if it's actually literally a different thing at a different cuisine place than I've had it before. But having had it at a lot of places, my faith in tofu being okay has been pretty destroyed. But hey, maybe I'll find another place that does it that way. We'll try that. We'll say that.
I'm reading Gabe.
Oh,
Where's Gabe?
oh, Quinn, your volume is a little bit low. You can
Is
get
it-
your
Is
mic
it
closer?
better?
Like-
Is it louder? I had to turn it up. It's a new microphone,
Yeah.
y'all. Bear with Quinn. I turned it up like in the like thing. It
There
was
you
like really low.
There you go.
Hopefully it's better. Y'all let me know if it's bad. I can turn it up more.
I think the level's
We're a
good.
little bit more than halfway.
It's equivalent to
So
Cece's.
Quinn ASMR times.
Well, ASMR times.
Let's do it. Quinn
I've
ASMR.
also learned I'm more soft spoken than I thought. I can be a very loud boy, but like over the course of me testing microphones and this new microphone and us setting me up to do stuff like over there, I'm really soft spoken.
I mean,
just a note.
since I'm on the defensive here, the ways of producing tofu don't fundamentally change it in my experience, because it is just the texture changes only to the outside. It's still a gooey nothing. And this is, again, specifically the boxes
Same, I
we
know.
get of this weird sponge mass thing that we get in the United States and almost every grocery store I've seen on the Eastern Seaboard. It's just like a wet lump of nothingness. And I've people put like cornstarch and shit on the outside of it and fry it. And that is the best way I've ever had it, because it adds a crispy texture to the outside of a blobby nothing. But that's the best way to have it if you got to have tofu for my part.
The place where you buy it also makes a difference, in my opinion. Like, if you're buying tofu, go to an Asian market, because you'll get many different types of tofu that are not only the sort of like sponginess, because you got silken tofu that feels very like cream cheese in texture, and you have like extra firm tofu and like a variety of ways. And I gotta say, I agree with Gabe. Like, it is fundamentally changed. If we only wanted to see from like a chemical reaction, there is something going on there.
Yeah, on the outside of the tofu. I'm gonna have to try some of the tofu you
No,
described.
in the inside as well.
Because I've had so much tofu and it has not been different. But I have not had tofu.
I'm sorry.
from an Asian
I'm
market.
sorry, Thades. I say this with a lot of love,
I know.
but I will not be taking in consideration the opinion of a white man over the millions and like billions of Asian people who looked at tofu and say, this shit is actually really good.
I have been destroyed. We'll be back after you all. Take this minute and a half to understand just how badly I've been annihilated. And I'm going to change the branding on my stream. Where's the button that makes this? We'll be back in a minute and a half.
self-care break. I forgot. It's okay. It's been a day.
That makes it even more sort of like silly. It's like I said that and the stream broke and we just had to go to an ad break or something. Like nothing to see here.
What's
I'm
up
gonna
with
catch up in touch.
I mean, everyone forgave me eventually for coming down on Reese's peanut butter cups like the end of time. So like I feel like we'll get past this tofu thing together. I'm not too worried.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. I'm good, Ren. How are you?
So let's just talking about changing between the wishes.
Wait, you did what?
I mean, I don't know what they're talking about. It's during the ad break, so nothing happens during the ad break. There's nothing to respond to.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's why I'm sitting silently.
Me too. haven't said a damn thing.
No, we would never say anything or gaslight about it either.
Gaslight me? That doesn't sound like me.
No.
The last time I benevolently
That's what I'm
gaslit
saying.
anybody was about 2 minutes ago.
But it's ad break, so it doesn't count. Shh, don't talk about it now.
That's what
You
I'm
can't now.
saying.
It's done. Yeah.
What's a tofu? What?
Wait.
Exciting!
Yeah. Let's celebrate Ren for starting a HRT today.
Ren, that's incredible. I'm so happy for you.
Yay!
Let's go. Congrats in the chat for the Ren while I figure out what the hell I'm going to do about this atrocity that's asked of me. Let me see here.
Also, yeah, like if like what was it, Reese's buttercups? Like peanut butter cups that you had like a beef with them afterwards? I'm sure that
Peanut butter
tofu doesn't
cups. We're
have
talking
as
about
many-
tofu, and now an apology to tofu. Hi, tofu. Look, I know.
His name is actually Tofu.
I know
Tofu.
that. Oh, not tofu in chat.
Yeah.
Not tofu in chat. My gosh. Right? Did you want me to apologize to tofu in chat? I'll do that. That's good. That makes more sense. Tofu in chat. I am so sorry if you thought that the things I was saying were directed at you. That they weren't. What I'm talking about is that abomination of goo and shit that we sell in grocery stores around here. I don't know why we make that mistake still. As a civilization, lowercase t tofu was just a mistake. But tofu with a capital T is a fantastic human being. They're really fantastic. They bring a lot of texture and flavor to every conversation they're in, which is something that a lot of other tofus literally fail to do every single time it's been asked to for hundreds of years. It's very strange to me that it's still around. But anyway, I'm not sorry about that because I bear no responsibility for it. I am sorry that tofu with a capital T maybe was sad.
Tofu saying that they are a blob of gooey nothing now.
That is the best. That was the best apology I've ever done. I'm so happy about that.
Tofu with a capital T. Like, you have to go around pronouncing, I am tofu.
You're gonna change your name to Blob of Gooey Nothing. I was almost called you Frosty. Can we do that? What's up, Frosty? Ferocious roast for roasty. That's stuck in my brain now. It's not going away.
Hi, Roasty.
How was the Subnauticas, Rosie?
How's below zero? Where are you in below
I did
zero?
not avoid apologizing. I apologized to Tofu. I did exactly what was asked of me.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're just saying that because you're his kid.
That is definitely not true. Quinn would throw me under the bus in a New York minute. What are you talking about? Is this your first time here?
Oh my god, is this how my mom used to feel whenever me and my dad would like gang up on her or something?
Aww. There have been a few. To go, look at that snazzy. Hold on with your snazzy. Hold on. What's your little snazzy thing?
Since it's almost time for
yeah,
Grawb to come into the stream, let's picture who comes in and things are very confusing. Let's do a poll.
No.
Speak your democratic truth, everybody. All possible answers are reflected. Should Quinn throw his dad under the bus? This is the chance you get. This is the moment you have to tell us all what you think.
This isn't Mean Girls.
It is not
Yeah,
Mean
that
Girls.
it's cute.
Yeah, he bought
Look at
it
that
like
shame.
on an Instagram store, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wishing, I think it's obvious.
Yeah, and like his drip, like the pants come from the like Goodwill kind of thing.
Oh,
And
hell
this
yeah.
came
We love
from,
thrifting.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Also thrifting.
Yeah.
And but the snazzy little sort of like accessories, they came from like an Instagram shop, from people that buy stuff in bulk.
Hell yeah. I'm
yeah.
obsessed now. I will be getting some.
Please feel free to steal his outfit if you like it.
I like the pants. The pants give me like I don't know. It made me think of Mary Poppins with like
Yeah,
like
they're
that
very sort of
area.
like they're very sort of like English teacher.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right?
yes. Yeah.
And I was teasing him that he was like they're like a little short, so you can see his ankle. And since it's so hot here because it's almost summer, and so he wasn't wearing like long socks. That's not the word. Oh yeah, and with those shoes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yes, he met a friend, like one of his best friends,
Pop the foot.
lives
Pop the
in Spain,
Mhm.
and she came in here for like another friend's wedding.
Yep.
And so
Aw.
they met today, and they were very excited to see each other.
Oh.
So he got all pretty, all dressed up to see his friend.
Aw.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that friend of. I mean, I love all his friends, but Nato is very sweet. And like the last time that we traveled to Europe, that was before the pandemic, that was in 2018. We met with her like in another country because we were like, okay, we took like a 16-hour plane
Mhm.
to be here in the same continent, so the least you can do is like take a plane as well to sort of like meet us in this other
Yeah.
country that is kind of close to yours. Like I think it was like a 3-hour plane ride, which is ridiculous because
Holy
a 3-hour
heck.
plane ride wouldn't take me like to the half of my country because it's very long. Anyway. Yes, you can see an ankle. He's being so slutty. So slutty.
Don't. Hey, Daddy Bezos will rain down if you show feet or ankles.
Wait, what?
That's
Yeah,
how
don't
you
do that
measure
here.
it.
No, we don't.
If we were living in Victorian times, Scarlet A will be his.
So it is, in fact, Quinn's decision. Quinn, should you throw me under the bus?
You know what? I pose the second question.
Okay.
If I throw Dad under the bus,
Mhm.
just imagine this. I feel like I then would have to drive the stream. And do we want that, chat? Do we want me driving the stream? Have we seen what happens when I get on the buttons? Listen.
A valid point.
Let's think about that one. Next poll. Look.
You know that Hollis, hi.
Let democracy
if
reign.
Thades is not reacting.
No.
All possible
Immediately, it's
answers are
because he's making a
reflected.
poll
Should
about it.
Quinny drive the stream? Please make your choice.
Oh. I feel like even if my decision wins, I feel like it is this one time. This is must how it feels when you say that your brand is not in your control.
Yeah, I don't control my brand.
I feel like this decision, regardless, is not in my control.
Oh, Tofu changed their name. To
Someone
Tofu
voted die, dad,
9/11.
die.
I love
That was about to happen, I guess. The end of your dad is die.
No.
Oh.
For many other reasons, we're not throwing dad under a bus. That's just German for the dad. Oh, is it? I believe you, Gabe. Hello.
Michael.
Hello.
It's Grawb.
Oh,
Oh, hi. Oh my God, your lights are blue
Hi.
and green. I love that.
Oh my god.
Classy.
Oh my God.
They're two
Yeah,
different colors.
That side is very bisexual. I like it. It speaks to me.
Yeah.
The other side, not so much.
That one gives me like good ocean vibes.
Yeah,
That's what I'm going
Little
for.
Mermaid vibes. And Michael is kind of like a redhead, so he's having his Little Mermaid moment.
I was gonna say, is the Talia stream I'm a mermaid tonight?
Yes.
Merman.
Moisture is the essence of wetness. And wetness is the essence of beauty.
I guess just to make sure Grawb is he's about 80% caught up, but just to make sure Grob's 100% caught up, just so you know, friend Grawb, the stream has descended into madness. So that's where we are right now.
Real
No, it's
before I
never
even got here this time?
descended,
Yes.
That's awesome.
No, it all
I
broke
see
down with tofu.
Poll. Drive the stream. Sure, it's your decision, Quinn. Done. Easy
No.
peasy.
Grab, do you
In here, loaded up with it's my decision.
Grab, do you have an opinion on tofu? Not the person in chat, but the stuff, the food product, tofu.
I mean, it's kind of hard to have an opinion on it because it can be so different. Like there's very, very good tofu out there.
Yes.
Very good tofu is very. I will say tofu can sometimes make me nervous because I feel like it's easier to have tofu that I don't like versus tofu that I do like.
Yeah.
But when it's good, like it's very good. I got no issue with it.
Let that be the final word for the
it's
brand.
not like a chicken nugget that you know that even if it's very bad, it's still going to be tasty. Like the scale of food experience can be very drastic.
It's true.
In
Exactly.
the tofu. Yeah.
But that's not
Side
like
of things.
exclusive to tofu. Like there's fish too, you know? Everyone loves the fish, but like bad fish is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Quinn, Quinn, it's your decision. Are you driving?
Sip.
That was a mistake.
Wait, I think I have a sip emoji. Let me check.
I'll drive.
Okay,
We don't have to throw dad under the bus for
Do
me to
have
drive,
one.
but
we're to next.
where to next?
Yeah.
What's the most chaos I can produce within the
Thanks, Rosie.
stream decks?
The most chaos you can cause using the stream decks.
Yeah.
That doesn't actually bring the
Erasing,
stream
like,
offline.
I did call you slutty.
No, don't turn the
honey.
stream off.
Because you're showing your ankles. You're being slutty in Victorian times.
The chaos is essentially here or here. So we got two menus. There's the stuff that beats the hell out of me, and then the stuff that breaks everything.
What if we clicked all of them?
Okay. So let's go one at a
At
time,
once.
everybody.
No, all of them at once. It's not. I'm not driving. I'm in the back seat. And I'm on
I don't know if I can do that. I'll try 3 at the same time.
Oh,
You're
we're
supposed to
back
shout that in a car.
streaming.
I've never done this before.
Streaming, like
Hang on.
Thades said on my stream yesterday. They were back
Oh, is this a first
streaming.
time? A first time
Streaming.
all?
I've never done this. I'll hit 3 at once and see if the stream deck locks up.
Okay.
Things seem fine.
All right, let's
That's
try.
fine.
For
Without a hitch. Flawless.
Did that work?
Yeah.
now, take your hand
Okay.
and run it across the whole stream deck.
That's what I was meaning. Yeah.
Like a child in an elevator.
Okay.
Hit every button.
Is everyone ready?
Like a child with
That's
a piano.
Thank you. I'm so glad. I'm
Yeah.
glad you felt my energy. Oh. Oh. Oh.
This is it.
Amazing. A work
There's
of
so
art.
many competing flavors. Oh my
This is perfect. This is
god.
great.
This is so good.
Wow.
I
That
love
is-
a little spinning in the background
That's
with
cursed.
your snack. It's
Oh
so
yeah, she
fun.
absolutely breaks if I do that. That's pretty good. How do I unwind this? There we go.
No, just keep
The
spinning.
guns. Well,
No,
here.
no, let her be.
Okay, she can stay. Everyone else can. She can
Just
stay.
vibing.
She's just
It's
vibing.
fine.
Chun-Li's just vibing, trying to punch me in the face right now.
It's my favorite thing.
All right, let's do all the buttons on the other one. Ready? This will be like we'll go the other direction here.
She's going for the record.
Some of these buttons
We won't
undo other
switch her
ones, so it's not going to be as
There's
exciting.
no way she's not already at the record.
do,
That's
like-
she's going so fast.
I know.
Oh.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh,
Now, to make that even visible, we've got to turn. There we go. There it is. There
is
it
her
is.
ankles turning with her turning? I'm
Yeah,
trying to.
it kind of looks like your feet
Wait.
are going like this at the same
Yeah.
time.
It's hard to
doesn't it?
know what the feet
Yeah.
are doing. Yeah.
It's like when you watch a car like go, like drive, you're like, are the wheels actually going?
Yeah, is it like
Probably just like an animation effect to make it look like she's like spinning like
She's still
faster than
spinning.
she is.
right? Yeah, it's like when you look at car tires on the road and they're going so fast forward, they start to look like they're going backwards.
Yeah.
It kind of just looks like her ankles are
Hey,
breaking. but
hi.
maybe not.
How are you?
Hello.
Okay?
I love that the glitch
pretty
like slightly moves her a little bit, and she looks like she's just a whole wave going off into. You know what's the space one where it just kept spinning off into space? That one. That's what it is. I can't express that. I'm gonna have to find it.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah, that one.
I just copied what you said. I don't know.
Kids these days.
How do I even look this? Can I type dun 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 space?
I think
You think
so.
I don't know what I mean?
Or like space meme. Da 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 da.
I will.
This is a game I play with my chat sometimes. But I'm trying to think of a song, and they're trying to explain to me a song. I'm like, type it out, and they go da 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 da. And I'm like, I don't fucking know, but it's really funny to me
So
every
I don't
time.
think we're-
Stopped it. I found it.
But it's
found it.
so
I don't
fun
think
to
the
try to
technology's
figure out.
there yet, unfortunately. All right, I have to undo this now.
This is still going crazy, huh?
I know. I love
Yeah.
this.
That's okay. This is not that bad to fix. Oh, that's that one.
Picnic Fiance was watching a YouTube video by Sakurai, I think, that they were explaining how they will like exaggerate the animations in like fighting games, so they will look cooler. And so like
Count.
someone will be like a sort of like flying kick, and like his whole torso will move. It will be like, this is not physically possible, but it looks cool.
Mhm.
And I like that. I like that. That was the explanation. Like, it just looked cool.
Memes. A shooting, and it's called Shooting Star meme.
You
Yeah,
found
no,
it?
you're right. Oh my god, you're good. You're so good. Tofu got it. I don't know, Dad. How do I check and see if like? Oh well, actually, you don't have to play it on stream. I don't want you to get. I don't know if this
Is it on
song
YouTube?
copyrighted. Yes.
Why don't you link it in chat and then I can figure it out.
Sweet.
Yeah, the principles of animation. Yeah, Sakurai from Smash has been releasing a lot of a lot of YouTube videos. Yeah, a lot of YouTubes. I sounded like my grandma.
Also,
Uh,
I do not
a lot of
vet this. I'm gonna
videos
vet this real quick,
about
actually.
like making games. My fiance has no interest in making games. He just like very highly interested in whatever Sakurai says. And so we're like, oh,
I'll give
good
you
to know. Like, oh, I didn't know that.
Well, thank you, Daddy Sakurai. Thank you for informing me.
The daddy wasn't necessary, Michael.
I think it always is.
I mean, yeah, now that we're there.
Sakurai,
Daddy Zachary, Daiquiri. Oh.
Sakura.
Daddy
The other
Sakurai
day-
daiquiris.
The other day, he made a whole video about one of his cats. I don't remember the name of the cat, but it was lovely. It was adorable. A star. And they mentioned their partner, and like my fiance was like, he has a partner? I didn't know that he was like married or whatever. I'm like, why are you so interested in like his love life? He was like,
Reason, I'm not
"Yeah,
jealous.
he never mentioned anyone.
Just
I'm not
dash,
jealous at all of his way.
Picnic
whatever, I
fiance's
don't
dreams
care.
dashed forever. So sad. Is there a video coming, Gwen?
There
Because it's
is. I'm
Sakurai,
making sure I'm
okay.
vetting it. I looked through enough. It's just the top 10. I don't know all of them. This is just, I don't even know what the original is. So watch at your own peril.
All right, stand by while I
Oh god.
have no idea. I won't put this on the air for a second. Let me just like have a.
Yeah, I was trying to vet through it. I think that first one that plays might be the original. It's been so long. Like so long. I have no idea.
Are we doing this on stream or should I click it separately?
Clip it separately. Yeah, it's VEVO. It's Vivo, so I can't. I don't think I
That
can
I
makes
play
know
it.
that making
I might get away with it, but I'm going to skip it.
Y'all can click the link.
You can
We
click the
don't have
link.
to-
It's
Yeah.
fine. Watch it yourself. It's not going to offend folks. It is very strange. I think without the sound, it will lose something.
It's that immediate sound. It's so
oh
familiar.
That part-
I get the da now.
You right? I think the original doesn't exist
Oh,
anymore on
gosh.
YouTube. Oh, really?
I have never seen this.
So
But I can show the visuals. I can show the visuals. We'll do that, so people aren't completely left out there.
Oh wait, where's the dog one?
you
That's
put the
one I-
videos and I'll do the music.
Okay, ready? And go.
Yeah. Kaboom! That's the
That's
video.
Thank
And
you.
there's more.
These are just a bunch of like random ones. I don't know what these are. I think I saw the dog originally, actually. Hold on, the dog one.
I think the dog is the one I've seen before.
Yeah, now that I think about it. Meme dog? Let me see.
I mean, there are many meme dogs, but like shooting star meme dog.
I found Gabe the dog shooting star. Oh, the pup. Our sweet
Our
pup.
sweet pup.
Our sweet pup.
Our sweet little pup.
The sweetest little Oh wait. I think this I love this dog so much.
There's a dog.
Oh
Where's
my
the dog?
God.
Yeah.
You're not sharing
There's
the
a
link
dog
though.
one. I can
Quinn.
share it.
Yeah,
do
I
it.
want to
Yeah.
see the dog.
I fucking love this dog.
It's not content for you to be like, look at this cute dog that I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Ones, motherfuckers.
Okay, it's Cece's turn to do the music.
Okay, ready,
Oh,
Cece?
oh shit! Wait. We need to watch the original.
Okay.
This is my favorite dog. I use this
Wait,
emote
wait.
literally
I
all
need
the
to know
time.
when the music starts. Give me a second.
You just have to feel it in your heart.
She's gotta get herself into
Oh,
the
okay.
space. I get
Okay.
it. You ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
I love this dog.
I can beatbox like or whatever it sounds, but yeah.
No, you're doing great.
Oh, cool picture of Jupiter there.
I like it.
Dog is my entire energy.
That's it.
Oh,
Now I need
that
to
is
drink
all
water.
oh, what a good boy.
What a good boy.
Mate.
What a
He's having
good
such
boy.
a good time.
That's all. I'm so glad I could bring all this. in.
Okay, I'm sorry. It is confusing. Oh, how did it go at your event yesterday? You said that you had an event. If you don't mind sharing, obviously.
Which one of us?
Who?
Who?
I don't think any of us had an event yesterday.
Did you have
No,
an event?
okay, in chat.
Oh.
Okay.
We were all.
I thought you were talking to us. I was like,
Oh.
I'm talking with the people in chat. That's something that streamers do sometimes. I don't know if you've heard of that.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about. That's weird.
Nah.
Is that what all those
You're the
words
only-
are
you're
in
the
that
only
thing?
Professional streamer here.
Yeah, you're the only one. You're the only hope we have.
Of course, you said it. You mentioned it when you went on, you came on stream yesterday while I was doing the Pokemons. I'm like almost to the end game, by the way,
I kind of figured.
because
Pokemon Endgame.
I played too much while I
Talking
was
about the
sick with
star.
COVID, so now I have like one batch left.
Shit, I hope Quinn didn't make the news. That'd be really bad.
Yeah, Quinn, don't you remember?
Don't I remember? Yeah, I must have forgotten.
It was stellar.
Yeah, after those
That's
podcast shots
great.
yesterday, you must have blacked out.
Okay, I'm glad that it was a
Oh,
good
you-
that it was a good time. That everything
You
went well.
only half right. Just a little ate some noodles and went to bed.
Noodles is a good idea.
Yeah.
No, I just drank like a gallon of water and then went to bed.
I probably should drink more water. I drink like 2 of these. Because
Nice.
wife was like, "Will you drink this? Because you'll cry."
You
in the
look like
morning."
you
Yep.
as well, so that you. Oh, that's good that made you
Let's
happy.
go.
Thades,
Grawb.
you said in Discord
Yes,
that you had a TikTok that I had to see.
I sure do.
Oh.
Now I know that
And
you're.
I told you I would remind you,
Mm.
and I've never
Oh,
felt like more of
wow.
a functional human being in my life that I remembered something just now.
Oh,
I feel so good about myself that I remembered.
Love this
anything.
growth.
I love
Yeah.
this growth.
Growth.
well, unfortunately for all of us, I
Love
forgot
this
what it
joke.
was. I have no idea. I'm kidding. I got it.
Well,
I got it.
I was-
Now, I feel like you must have seen this because our YouTube feeds are identical, so I just kind of assume our FYPs are very nearly similar too. But anyway, if
I
you
haven't
haven't seen
seen
this,
this,
I'm so happy to show you
What's
this.
that?
Let me see if the audio is going to work for this. Nope. If I turn on, I turned off all the audio just
Oh.
in case. Here we go.
Behold, the legend of Doom. As you've probably already guessed, this
Love
is a
this.
recreation of the original NES Zelda game in the Doom engine.
Aw.
It is very, very faithful to the original game, which translates surprisingly well into an FPS. The sword, bow, wand all look great. Doom Guy's little hat is cute, and seeing the original map with verticality breathes new life into the game. I desire all to receive it in the name of Kojima the Sun. Amen. Behold!
I felt like you'd play
That was
this,
like
That's
fun.
so cool.
right? I think it's free until they get shut down by Nintendo.
Ooh.
I was gonna say it has to have
Oh,
been
yeah.
free.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
charge for a remake of a Nintendo game with a
Yeah.
Doom property also in there.
It's effectively
That
a
is sick though.
a full conversion on the original Doom from like the 90s. So you
But
need to
that's
get
like-
I mean, I've got Doom EXE somewhere here if you can't get a copy of it, and you can so you can mod it. But yeah, it looked pretty neat. I didn't like it.
Oh, that is
The,
awesome.
the Nintendo ninjas want to know your IP address.
Yep, they're coming.
They're coming your way.
Nintendo ninjas.
I love to see like how that mind works. That once like what would make a Legend of Zelda better? If you played it like you played Doom. Like I love that.
Me too.
I wouldn't have ever
Right?
thought about that.
It looks fucking good too. Like I was surprised because if someone told me I'm gonna reskin Doom to be the first Zelda game, I'd be like, okay, sure. Like that sounds like kind of basic, but it looks genuinely like it might be fun. It was like, oh, it's a
Yeah.
way to get back into the old game if you don't like to go back to the ancient interface anymore. It's good.
Yeah. I mean, I do not think they hacked the original Zelda to make it that. They
No.
had to have remade each of the assets, or most likely the entire thing.
Oh, I mean, I've seen
Yeah.
people do this with Doom before. This is poor Doom is a very well understood executable.
Yeah.
And because I mean, for one thing, John Romero and John Carmack are cool dudes who answer questions because they don't give a shit anymore about the ancient code, but also because people have just had a long time to mod it and extend it and stuff. And so, like the Doom, that's called the WAD file, is one of the very first sort of like archival formats used for video games that were like, it was specialized. They needed some way to compress data to fit as much as possible on the tiny disk, because this is back during the 3.5-inch floppy days, right? And like shareware. And so you download each of the episodes of Doom. Like it would cover 4 or 5 floppies. I don't have the floppies anymore, of course, because they wouldn't work on any hardware. But anyway, like they did all this fancy shit, and then people figured out how to unpack the WAD file. And then once you unpack the WAD, you can see all of the graphical assets. And every sprite in the game was 3D by just literally showing every frame you could possibly see of the thing. And because you're on a 2D plane, which would work very well for the first Zelda game, right? There's no climbing, you never go up or down. They just kind of spin. and it works. It would look great. And so you just kind of go through and replace all of the assets in the WAD file with assets that look like Zelda. So they did a lot of art for it, I think. They would have had to do all the pixel art because we don't have multiple spinning angles on those bad guys, but pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that won't run on your NES. That's no way.
No.
Well, I guess I should take it back because
No.
the Doom executable does run on a lot. There's like they've gotten the damn thing to run on a pregnancy test, right? It's like a meme. Like, can you run Doom on it? And they run
Yeah.
Doom on blenders and cell phones and calculators and shit, refrigerators. So yeah,
What would it say about your potential future child if you took a pregnancy test and then you looked at it and then Doom was just playing? Like,
I mean, one, it would mean I would not live to see my child beyond 20 because the world would end and demons would be everywhere. But two, my kid would stop them all, which adds up. You've seen Quinn, so.
Aw. Doom guy did have a rabbit. Just saying. It's
Doom guy.
uncanny.
There was some argument on Twitter before Twitter burned down where a bunch of like
Daisy.
people who should not have been arguing about the name of Doom Guy were arguing about what Doom Guy's name was. And it's like, is it B.A. Blazkowicz from the Wolfenstein
Guy,
games?
right?
Or it's like there's several novelizations of those. But then, John fucking Romero came in and he said his name was Doom Guy. It was Doom Guy when we made the game. It was Doom Guy the whole time we were working on it. It was Doom Guy when it launched.
I love it.
It's Doom Guy.
I love that. Good.
You can always trust in like filler names in any project.
Mr. Guy.
Mr. Guy. Mr. Guy. I don't think Doom Guy
Mr.
would
Guy
want
was
to be
my father.
addressed.
Call me Doom.
Yeah, call him Doom. Call him Doom. And on that note, I'm gonna run the ad break for a minute and a half. Nothing's gonna happen except for whatever Quinn has been saving up to tell us that's interesting, because he no doubt waited for Grawb to share whatever this hot tea is. We'll be back in a minute and a half. Right,
I
Twitch?
want some tea.
There it is.
I had some tea in my little cup,
Tea.
but now I don't have any.
Do we have hot tea?
It's a whole night cup.
Oh, look how cute that cup is, though. Hold on, wait. That's the hot tea. Is that fucking Hollow Knight cup?
It's a pretty cool cup. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's good.
That's
That is
a
a
pretty
cool
sick
cup.
cup.
Damn it! I did it on that break, as always.
Everyone missed such interesting cup
You
content.
can't do it
Yeah.
again. So
Ugh.
we cannot hold it back up to the camera, y'all. I hope
Yeah.
you understand
No.
that.
Oh, and you're all big cup heads out there because that's a cool cup.
Yeah.
They can't hear me
Gosh.
anyway.
I need to start like having things prepared interesting wise. I feel like I did something today and I was like, oh, that's something I'll talk about on stream. And then I just forget it by the time we roll back around.
You got to use
Oh,
like
absolutely.
Google Keep or a little notepad and write that shit. That's how I do it. I write shit down to remember,
Oh,
and then I throw the piece of
let
paper
me
away at the
try
end of the
it
night.
now.
Fine.
I think what did I say something? I think the most recent thing that has shocked people was my confusion on where North was, and I think I might have said that one already.
Your
But also
confusion
ad-
on where North was.
Yeah,
What,
but we're about
like,
to be off the ad break, silly.
Is that your dodge? That's the dodge right there. That's how we don't have to worry about it.
You have to wait till next ad break. Stick down to your
No, we're gonna come out of ads, and I'm gonna bring this up right now.
Yeah.
Bring
Hi,
bring
everyone.
what up, Master Grawb?
Welcome back from ads. Quinn just told me that he didn't know where North is.
Don't help me, Dobby. no. Okay. So I now know where North was, but because stick with me. Are you ready for this?
Sure.
Up until way too embarrassingly of an age, I'm 24. It was when I was 24.
How old are you now?
Uh,
Just for reference.
24.
Got it. Okay. I knew that. I just
Um,
wanted to keep the bit going there.
No, I love that. Yeah. It really hammered on in that it was within this year. Because when I was younger, I asked where North was, and they said in front of you. And because, I always had cell phone GPS. I didn't need to use maps. I wasn't any kind of Boy Scouts. Like, I didn't do anything where I needed Grawb. Stop laughing. Hide in your mouth. I see it. Okay.
We're very serious.
I thought north was in front of me for the longest time, and it was up until this year. Smile is just getting tinier. That I thought north was in front of me. Because when I was young, I asked which way north was, and somebody said in front of you. And then it was of this year that I said something, and my wife and roommates turned to me. And as I said it, I knew it was wrong too. Because like older brain,
Sure.
my older brain was like, no, that's wrong. North is not in front of you.
So wait, when you were told
One of
this,
those things your brain had never processed really
Yeah.
as an adult before.
Yeah.
No,
What-
that's totally understandable. A friend of mine, that happened to her when she was explaining the story behind the disappearance of like her first cat. She started sort of like telling what her mom told her, and then she was like, that was a lie.
Yep.
In the middle of
Yeah.
her story. It's like, I'm glad that you noticed it like 20 years later.
so wait, was it the case that when they told you it's in front of you, were they accurate at the time? Were you in fact facing north?
Yeah,
Or did
that
they give
was
you
the
okay?
problem.
I was wondering if they just gave you like stupid if they were also wrong. Okay, and they believed their whole lives that north was just
Which
in
way
front
is
of
north? The way you're facing.
Yeah.
Got it. Lock that in forever. And we'll think about it not critically ever
20
again.
years.
So like it's specifically north, like
Yeah.
because I don't hear you say like part of the lore was the lore of Quinn. North is in front of me, south is behind me.
Yep.
West
that's-
is left and east is right.
I didn't think past the west.
That's
I didn't
that was
think
my
south.
question because like when somebody said like, oh, you're because you're from the south,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have been like, yeah, I'm from right back there. You would like you understood you're from the south.
Yeah.
I'm just like I'm not making fun. That's just one of the weird
no,
things
you're-
like our
you're good.
brains do when it's like, yeah, there's just like a concept that you've never really connected to something else, and your brain never got around to like
Exactly.
thinking about it.
Dude, it really changes just perspective in the way that, for example, I grew up in a beachside town, okay? So I had to one side, you had the ocean, and to the other side, you had like a hill, like a little hill there, right? So getting orientated was super easy because you could know exactly where you were depending on which side of you the ocean was, right? And I got to this city, and the city has no ocean. The city is just surrounded by hills that look exactly the same. So
Oh,
I'm
no.
always super lost. Like whenever I say like, "Oh yeah, up north," and my fiance is always like, "North is the other way." I'm like, "I'm sorry, you have too many mountains," and they tell me like, "Oh, but you need to the Andes is to the west." And because the Andes is always sort of like full of snow, except during the summer where there's no snow, and so it looks like any other hill. And I'm like, I just memorized the streets, and I just make a mental map of which side of the subway I need to get off, and
Yep.
that's it. Because trying to like comprehend it from the environment, I can't. My brain was too sort of like I was in like it was easy for me for too long, so now it can't compute.
Oh gosh, Pit Fiance is upset. It looks like those are angry.
It's the biggest
all
fucking
caps.
hill in the city. That's so Capitalino of you, honey. That's so big city boy. Oh, tell which is the Andes? I don't know. It's a hill.
Hill.
Okay.
That's
I'm very excited to have had a full thought process on North though, and now I don't say that one anymore. I think the wildest part is that I knew it was wrong because when it left my mouth, I immediately felt that I was like, no, and I just started shaking my head. I was like, that doesn't add up. I don't think so.
Echo, I mean, I sympathize. I don't know if it helps, but the way I do it is, I mean, one, if I'm in an area I'm familiar with, I kind of just have a general idea what the direction are. But if you can see the sun in the sky and you know what time of day it is roughly, if it's midday, like it's hard. But if it's like, not noon And it's like in the morning, you know the sun comes up in the east. And so the sun's going to be closer to the ground on the eastern side of where you are. And so if your right side is sort of towards the sun, it's not really going to work because it's the globe and the globe is at an angle and stuff. But you roughly will have like, you'll be within 30 degrees of correct for north. And then you can use that to guess from east to.
That's something
other
that's
directions.
something that's really trippy when you travel to another country or another continent, and the sun is not at the places that it's supposed to be, because you're like, I don't know, like for example, we went to Italy, so the sun came out by the sea, and it was like, no, you're wrong, like you're not supposed to be there. It's like, yes, because you're like in a whole other part of the earth. So of course it's not going to come out from the same part that your part of the world comes out. So it was very disorienting when you're like, you have the privilege of like traveling to another side of the world. My parents have friends in Australia, and they're going to visit eventually, I think next year. And I'm so confused about how they're going to deal with the whole sort of like, this is the future. Like, this is a whole ass day, like after whatever I'm going through. That's going to be a trip.
Do you want to know how I remember which way the sun, like which direction the sun like rises and sets? In the movie, the Disney classic Beauty and the Beast, there is a line where it says something, rising in the east, tale as old as time.
Oh,
And I'm like,
yes.
okay, I got it. It's locked in as a song verse.
Nice.
I don't even know what leads into that song, but I think of that little snippet of that verse of that song, and it's how
Song
the
is
only
old
way
as
I can
brown.
remember.
Hot.
I love Beauty and the Beast.
I mean, it's like a mnemonic method. And I mean, not mnemonic, but when you remember things like through songs, it's easier for your brain.
Oh yeah,
It-
that's a thing. Like people
Yeah.
will tell you, like studying wise, if you try to study things to a
Thanks, Disney.
song and make them into a song, it's far more successful.
Sure, that can help some folks.
Oh, that's huge for me.
Mhm.
That is absolutely huge for me. It is a great way to help me remember anything.
One of my best friends is a doctor. She doesn't have a PhD. She saves lives. And she taught me like so many of the songs that they sort of like teach each other like at med school to sort of like remember the tons and tons of information that they need to know for their
I'd
exams.
be so scared if my doctor was like, I was going under for surgery. My doctor was like, okay, the knee bone's connected to the. The
That's gotta
shin
go through the
bone. I'd be like,
whole-
what are you doing?
The whole song.
Oh no!
I
Please
got
don't leave
really-
a song.
It got really dark for a second there.
Or they invent very weird words or like sentences, because every sort of like the first letter of like every word in the sentence means another thing. So maybe that will be better because you wouldn't understand what they're saying because it has like no like it follows no logic in like without the context. But that will be funny, like you in the operation table and your doctor just sort of like humming to themselves.
It's funny when your doctor has to hum your body parts or what you to remember to do something. You're going under anesthesia.
Gabe.
How much do we give? It sings a little song.
We're doomed.
Gabe, that's like my fiance's most uttered sentence. Anytime I tell him any kind of anecdote, he tells me there's a Simpson gag about that. It's like, yes, I know. Like
Show's been on for 100
art-
years. They've
Yeah.
done a lot of gags.
done
art
everything.
simulates life simulates art, whatever.
Yeah, they've done so much stuff because they've had a lot of airtime they've had to fill.
Isn't it the
Yup.
longest running show? Technically.
Oh, it might be. I think so.
Yeah, if like consecutive seasons, I think it might be.
That is
I
really
might be
intense.
lying.
I mean, I stopped watching The Simpsons so long ago. Like it was very
Same.
consistently funny for a season, not funny for a season. And then I remember
Oh,
being
yeah.
in grad school, and one of my math professors told me he loved The Simpsons, and I said, "Really? Even in the seasons that aren't any good?" He said, "Oh yeah, I mean the normal humor comes and goes. That's not why I watch it." He said, "Everyone who's on that writing team," he explained to me, "were math people, and there are constantly math jokes hidden in the show, like high level, like number theory, group theory shit that you need." I mean, I didn't understand one of the jokes he explained to me, and I had essentially almost everything I needed for a math diploma. So that's a lot of math. And he had a PhD and he got the jokes. So I feel like Simpsons is not for me. I'm not smart enough for Simpsons jokes that are actually consistent. And the ones that were consistent, they didn't nail them all the time for me. So I gave up. I gave up on it.
Didn't Doctor Who have like a 40-year gap? Didn't it start in the 60s and then disappear until like the 90s or
Yeah, it
something?
took a long time off. I think so.
Yeah, so I don't know if it. I mean, if reboots count, then like, and that time in between them counts, like that. I don't know. I think it'd be like consecutive seasons. But you're probably right, Darth Bobby. There must be a soap opera.
So
there must be a soap
Oh,
opera
actually,
that's been going
I
for
think
a
there
billion
actually
years.
It is the number. So the TV shows with the most consecutive seasons ranked are The Simpsons with 34 episodes, Law and Order SVU with seasons. Sorry, yeah, 34 seasons. Law and Order SVU with 24 seasons, Law and Order, normal Law and Order, 22 seasons, and Family Guy at 21 seasons. And now what's the most seasons not consecutive? Still The Simpsons.
It's not consecutive.
Still The Simpsons.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I was gonna say, because even if it was like late 60s and in the late 80s, didn't Doctor Who start in the late 60s, or am I misremembering that? But ended in the late 80s, had a TV movie in 96, then returned in 2005.
Doctor Who ran from 1963 to 1989 and then resumed in 2005.
Okay. 63. Damn. No. It's still a lot, but
it's not as much as I thought,
to
be honest
with Simpsons.
Yeah, Simpsons is a lot.
Good Lord. That show needs to end. Maybe that's an unpopular opinion.
No,
Simpsons.
I'm with you.
I agree.
Like, not everything just has to keep going. Like Saturday Night Live. Give them a few years off. Let them recenter and refine themselves, even.
Or just take it away from Lorne Michaels. I think we can just like, that guy's no longer funny. He no longer knows what's funny. We're good with that guy. Let's just.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much of it is. I think Lorne Michaels just pretty much like finds talent. And then it's all of them writing their own stuff. I mean, I mean, that still could definitely be him.
I can't speak to it anymore. It's been a while since I was up on SNL stuff, like years and years. But I mean, during Tina Fey's age, when she was still there, like Lorne sat in on almost basically whenever a sketch was going to go on the show, he watched all of them a couple of times before they went on the air. And he would tell them, yes, it's funny. No, it's not. And it didn't go on the air unless Lorne liked it. He didn't always give feedback. He just he had sign-offs. He wasn't in the writing room per se, but he did have a lot of. He basically was the one who gatekept the entire show, and I feel like maybe. I mean, Tina would describe some things that were clearly funny that I thought, why didn't that make it? And it's just because Lorne was mad at one of the people who was writing it, and he would just like filibuster, kind of like a Google tech lead would be like, I don't want you to succeed on my team anymore, so I'm just not going to clear your code. So even though your code works, I'm not going to merge it, and you'll lose your job in 3 months. Fuck you. Like that's what Lorne kind of did. And in show business, it's like, it's not forgivable in either space, but like I expect crazy assholes in show business. It shouldn't be in software.
Yeah. Yeah, SNL has had a lot of really funny episodes and funny sketches, but I feel like even at its best, it hit like 15% of the time with its sketches.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I watched SNL for a while consistently, and like the only times they were consistently funny were, a couple of seasons that I wasn't old enough to watch SNL for because I was a child, but like, back when Dan Aykroyd was on the air constantly, like those and Chevy Chase, like those days, like OG SNL had a lot of bangers. And then the Tim Meadows era, I think it was only on for a season or two. That was back when Will Ferrell was brand new, right? And like, and they still had, what's the guy's name? Shit, he's a comedian who got fired from SNL. He did the news portion of it for a little while, and then he got fired, but he was I think it was name. I think it was name.
I don't know. Chevy Chase did the news for a hot second. Norm Macdonald did the news for a hot second.
Not Kevin. It's been a long time. It was back in the late 90s.
Who was it in the late 90s? I should know. But, like, I'm very happy that a show like SNL exists, like, in general. Like, I enjoy sketch comedy, and I like that it's been, like, a staple of, like, at least they're trying to do it. Because it's, like, you know, it's very theater, like, very theater adjacent, and I very much like that it exists. I just wish they were better at it.
Norm Macdonald.
It was Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald. Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
I love Norm Macdonald.
Me too. I remember that was the one part of the show that I laughed at consistently, and then I'd be in a room full of people, and only two of us would laugh at everything the man said. His stuff just didn't hit with everybody. And I remember he did one, like the last late night news thing he did. I forget what the segment's called. I don't know, but he did it, and no one laughed except for me in my living room. I felt like, and he looked like, yeah, they're not getting it. This is my last show. I'm sure. I could see it in his eyes that he knew it was going away.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he had some very funny jokes that were just like so like not funny that they were
funny.
I love Norm Macdonald.
Oh shit!
It's all me, baby.
That's amazing.
Grawb.
Wow.
That's actually really cool.
Actually, I kind of like that.
Yeah,
Let's do it again.
there's definitely some
Yo.
that does it better. Whoa.
Discord broke. I fixed it. I mean, Norm Macdonald is like the final form of Abraham Lincoln. Honestly, that's like kind of like what I felt.
Grawb takeover.
Grawb takeover. The Grover.
There's one joke of Norm Macdonald's. I don't even think I can say it and make it sound funny. But it's like such an anti-joke.
The fly and the
makes me laugh
podiatrist
every time. And it's short. It's he goes, have you heard this one? Do you know this one? I'm on the seafood diet. The seafood diet. And what that means is if I see it and it's a fish, then I eat it. Which is like because the joke is like if I see food, I eat it. That's like the seafood diet. And he's like, if I see it and it's a fish, I eat it. And it's like that's not even a joke. You just said that it's an actual seafood diet. I don't know why I think it's so funny.
I think that type of comedy is the funniest because it's just so right there. It's just like no, like, but yeah, like.
Just the only reason that makes it funny is that it's been set up as a joke, and it's just like someone describing a seafood diet. I don't know. I very much enjoy it. But if anyone wants to watch good sketch comedy, a third season of I Think You Should Leave is gonna hit Netflix at some point soon. But there's 2 seasons of the sketch comedy show I Think You Should Leave, and it's quite funny.
Yeah, I'll check that. It
has very, very, very funny sketches. Cool. God damn it. The guy's very weird, but it is a funny show. If anyone's watched it, please go watch it. It's very good.
Yeah, that was the joke I was thinking about. Darth Bobby. I mean, enough people have heard it. I'm not going to attempt to do it on air, and I'm not Norm Macdonald, but I have told that joke. It's a long fucking ride, but at the end of it, it's so beautifully stupid. It's like yeah, it's good. I can't think of any sketch comedy shows I've seen of late that I've enjoyed. Like, I mean, it's been a long time. Like, I mean, Monty Python was in the 70s and the 80s, and I only saw reruns of that. And then like,
Monty Python's Flying Circus or whatever.
Yeah, exactly, that show. And then even that was hard to understand. Some of that stuff was hard to get because I was too young when I saw it, and also it was in Britain. Like, it was very different. But you know, some of those jokes still landed in spite of all that. Kids in the Hall. Which is pretty irreverent. I don't know. I don't know how well that kind of stuff holds up because it was like late '90s, but some of that was pretty funny. There was the Ass Pennies sketch. If you've ever heard of Kids in the Hall, you might know the Ass Pennies sketch. So I'll bring you up to speed if you folks who don't know. We see Grawb nodding, he remembers it, but like basically the gist was this dude goes in and gets talked like treated like absolute garbage by someone behind a register. He's working the register, I think, and like he gets treated like total garbage. He's just so friendly. And his buddy asks, "How do you do that? How do you like handle how mean everyone are to you when you work the register every day?" He said, "Oh, well, here's the deal. No matter how much money that guy makes, no matter how important he is or what he runs, he has statistically some of my ass pennies in his pocket, and I gave him some more." "Your what?" "My ass pennies." He said, "Think about it this way. There are," and he started, I'm not going to get the numbers. The numbers are an important part of the joke, but so sorry, I don't have them. But like, there's like, N million pennies in circulation right now. And of them, there's like this many hundreds of thousands of them in circulation in this city. And every hour that I'm awake every day for the past 15 years, I would put 5 pennies into my asshole and walk around with them. And so they just, they've been steeped in my asshole. Then I'd take them out and cycle in 5 more. And I've just been doing that. And so at this point, of the pennies in your pocket, 3 out of 4 have been in my ass for a non-trivial amount of time.
A good sketch.
That's the whole sketch, really. It's just like the uncomfort slowly settling on everyone in the restaurant. They're all like, "Oh my god!" Like looking at their pockets and their hands. Like, it's a classic.
Oh my gosh, there's so many good sketch comedy groups.
The Whitest Kids You
I watched
Know.
a lot of Whitest Kids You Know was the one I was just about to say.
So fucking good.
Fucking rest in peace, Trevor Moore, dying tragically young in this last year. Very sad, but oh my god, they have some of the funniest fucking sketches I've ever seen. Them and Derek Comedy, which is where
I met those
Donald
guys.
Glover got his start.
Donald Glover. I met Derek Comedy back when Donald Glover was still with them. They came to UMass when I was in an improv troupe, and we didn't work together, but we performed on the same stage. We did a show and they did a show.
Oh my god, he's so goddamn funny.
Very, very funny people, yeah. Also, that tall guy with the long hair, he's been in like a couple of Marvel things as an extra. I can't think of his name, but like that dude is fucking funny too. And like one of my favorite Derek comedies didn't have Glover in it. Well, I mean, one of them Glover was in was the principal pooped his pants. Which is like an incredible fucking sketch.
I like to skateboard.
Yeah, that's the one.
I love that sketch so much.
And then the other one is simply called Daughters. Have you seen Daughters? I feel like we could get away with that because it's a response thing. It does not have music in it.
You're the most important daughter of all.
Don't spoil it. we're gonna do it live.
Oh fuck! It's funny. Shit, it's so good.
Rob, I feel like you might have seen this. I don't know about like sketch comedy, but have you seen Oh Hello?
Oh hello,
On
yeah,
Netflix?
of course I have.
I love Oh Hello so
Oh
much.
hello.
I want your opinion on it. Oh Hello is so
Oh
good.
my
If
god.
anybody hasn't
Well,
seen
because
it,
it's
Yuki, thank you.
It's a John Mulaney and Newt.
like Kroll.
Newt. Yeah,
Newt?
Nick Kroll. I got distracted by the Newt.
Ooh, Newt.
It's so funny.
All right, there's no way to introduce this other than the fact that if you've seen 24, this is kind of making fun of 24, but also it's its own thing. Brace yourselves.
Oh, I'm so excited. I love this so much.
I've rescued my daughter from terrorists, but my job's not over yet. They're still planning on detonating a bomb in New York City. I'm almost out of time.
Daddy?
Sweetheart, the terrorists can't hurt you anymore.
Tom, I hate to rush things.
No, you're right. We've got a bomb to find. Now look, I think it's somewhere in the southeast corridor. If you have your men comb the... Hold on. Hello? What? God damn it, I'll be right there. I've got to go.
You just got here.
Damn it, Winters! They have my daughter.
Your daughter's right there.
No, my other daughter.
You told me she was an only child.
Look, I was married once before. I didn't tell you, I didn't tell anyone because, well, I thought they'd be protected.
What do you need from me?
I need you to put a trace on all... Hold on. Hello? I swear to God, if you harm one hair on her head, I'll... They have my daughter.
They called you to remind you that they have your other daughter.
No, other terrorists have my other daughter. Look, my daughter had a twin sister who got put up for adoption.
If she's adopted, then she's not legally your daughter.
No, but her parents left her in my custody. They died this morning.
What do they want?
They want me to kill my 2 original daughters.
You're not gonna do that. You just met this adopted daughter this morning.
I have to, or they'll use my adopted daughter as a bargaining chip. to gain control of my 4 other daughters.
You have 4 other daughters?
I was undercover in a polygamous cult for 12 years. I had no choice but to have lots of daughters. Send in my daughter.
Think about this sketch
Sweetheart,
once a week.
I'm sorry.
Daddy!
That was my wife.
So?
She has my daughter.
So?
Terrorists had my wife.
This is the wife you're married to now.
Yes.
And this is the daughter that I know about.
Right.
Isn't that this daughter?
You're right. Who are you?
Don't move, or I will kill your daughter.
Damn it!
Where did this daughter come from?
That's not my daughter. She's a surrogate mother who's pregnant with my daughter.
Why would you get a surrogate mother pregnant? You already have at least 15 other daughters!
It's a decoy daughter to distract the terrorists from my other daughters.
If it's a decoy, who cares?
You don't understand! Inside the decoy is a chip with the location of at least 12 other daughters.
The daughters from before.
No! Sleeper cell daughters! So secret I don't even know their location.
And these daughters are for...
Feeding information to 40 other daughters who, when they receive a secret signal, will convene in a bunker and they'll find...
Let me guess. More daughters.
No! That's what I want the terrorists to think. When in reality, on an offshore island, I have a legion of 4,000 daughters.
Alright, fuck this.
I don't want to have to shoot.
I don't want to shoot you either, but you're not giving me much of a choice.
I can't shoot you. You're my daughter.
I'm not your daughter.
But you are. You're the most important daughter of all.
I'm older than you.
I had a mission that involved time travel.
I'm a man.
The mission went horribly wrong.
Okay, just answer me this. Why do you have so many daughters?
Okay. I want everyone to listen up, because I'm only gonna say this once. Condoms feel weird.
Oh my god, fuck. It never gets old.
That is so good. I've never seen this. I know.
Oh my god, I'm so happy to bring that into your lives.
Oh, fucking hell. It's one of the best punchlines.
Sleeper cell daughters.
Oh god.
I think
Ugh.
okay, I'm also on the side of like I don't have the like previous nostalgia around it, but I think part of the joke is like just all of the chaos, correct me if I'm wrong, Dad and Grawb, but it's just the pure stacking of like thing after thing and just raising the bar to lead with a punchline that is so weird.
The camera work was very on point. Like all the like different angles,
they
like
nailed it.
Just
added
like
to
the
the
show 24.
tension.
It was so good.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, fucking love it. I think about that sketch quite a lot. And I think about the Whitest Kids You Know Abraham Lincoln sketch.
I don't know that one.
Oh,
I don't know that
I
one.
don't know that one.
can we watch one more and then I will take my hands will be off of the steering wheel of this.
I don't know. Can we do? I mean, Derek comedy. I feel confident doing because they haven't been
I'm
a
having
thing
a
and they were
wonderful
indie when
time.
they did this. But I don't know if
Or
we can
that,
show
I
Whitest
think this
Kids
one
You
is
Know.
Whitest Kids
Are
You
there,
Know.
like-
I think Whitest Kids You Know is the Abraham Lincoln sketch.
Okay.
Are they not like copyright infringements and stuff like
I mean,
that?
we're
if
reacting to a
we do
YouTube
that?
video.
Yeah,
and
it's safe to
sketch
react to
comedy
it.
groups
That's
kind of
true.
defunct. But also why that one guy from that Derek comedy is on, like you'll see him in Marvel movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Because the directors of Winter Soldier, the Russo brothers, they also did Civil War, got their start directing episodes of the show Community.
Oh.
Which had Donald Glover in it.
Yep.
Which is also why you see Danny Putty in one of the Avengers movies. Or a Captain America movie. He's like working a computer thing.
Annoying. Oh my god, my cat wants to lay on my keyboard. Give me a sec.
Okay, well, while you're dealing with that, we have a minute and a half to decompress while something interesting will happen that Quinn will do. Don't worry.
I literally just
It
had
can be
something
fine.
thought of too.
Good luck, everybody.
Oh, he's taking off headphones. Wait, now it's ours. Now we can do whatever we want.
Oh my god.
I usually have little secret chats with chat
Yeah.
that we definitely don't go back and tell.
No.
No.
Hey,
At all.
if you can hear us right now, we're gonna tell you a super secret thing that you can't this is just for us.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I ate Play-Doh like 4 times. And
What
now
does
you
it
all
taste
know
like?
that.
It's because you
Very
need
salty.
tasty little treats.
Really? It looks like it should be sweet.
It's very salty.
Yeah.
Not compared to tofu. Well, I would take Play-Doh over the worst tofu, but I would take tofu over like good tofu over like even the best Play-Doh, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because everyone, no! Play-Doh is super salty. Thank you. Confirmation.
I don't think I have any fun eating times with
It was just a secret. So if you have a funny secret, 20
yeah.
seconds.
funny. Do I have a? Oh my god! I don't know. That's a lot of pressure for a funny secret.
Okay, so I can go and say when I was a kid, I did eat the little pellets
did,
like dog food because the
Yeah,
dogs
okay,
look like it looks so yummy.
I
So
feel
I
so
tried
good.
one. It was not yummy.
I can't imagine it was.
It was like sandy and weird.
I
I
also
was just curious.
have eaten the like dog cookies that are basically human cookies. I'll die on this hill, but like the dog, they're
You might, if you
technically-
keep eating them, you might.
no, they're like imagine like like how people make the things for a dog sometimes where it's just like basically peanut butter and like some other like things like flour that keep it together. Those cookies were very much like that, but I didn't know they were cookies because they were packaged in like a little cookie thing, which I feel like is set
It's
up
very
for failure.
misleading. Yeah.
It's very misleading, but I did eat them,
Mhm.
learn about this, and continue to eat them until the bag was gone.
You
Okay, then
continue to?
I cannot defend you there.
But I don't know how to I don't know how to express that it wasn't dog biscuits like a dog biscuit. It was a genuine
Trixie, hi Trixie.
It was just
What
like
up?
Hi.
less like fancy cookie. Like
Yeah, but-
imagine the blandest cookie.
But you said you continue to eat them, and yet you own 0 dogs?
This was a hot minute ago. This
Oh,
is
okay.
before
I
moved.
thought
had
you
a
were
dog
like you
before I
went to the
moved.
store to buy them. I was like, there's human cookies like the next aisle over. I promise you. Get some Oreos. It's gonna change your life.
What is this, baby?
Oh, Jack. But I did echo. What's up? With oh hello.
The worst pediatric in this hospital.
Oh, Fergie.
Context sometimes carries some weight. I can't kill you. You're my daughter.
Echo, you did part of Oh Hello. That's so fun.
Oh my god, that's
Was
so
it a first
funny.
act part or a second act part? Because the first act is like them being like, "Oh, hello, we're doing a show, cans
Yeah.
of tuna," and then the second half is like them putting on their show. Oh, it's so good. And that's
I
it.
love oh hello.
That's the sketch.
The one on the top?
Oh my
Okay,
god.
are we ready to react to this?
What
It
it?
is-
Oh, I'm here for it.
It is one of my
Yeah.
favorite sketches of all time.
My cat is not very happy that she has to share my attention, but I'm ready.
Oh, it's already a good start.
Oh, Hamlet, 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 Hamlet. The vampire army has taken the city.
We must check the castle tower and make sure that no vampire have gotten into our home base.
You wait here. I'll go check the castle.
Yes, you do that.
Oh my god, Hamlet! I just saw a fucking vampire! It bit me right in the neck!
Oh no!
Save yourself, Hamlet! Shit!
Othello, I will avenge you and rid this castle of the vampire scourge that has taken this fair city. I shall hunt each and every one down in this town and drive a wooden stake through their heart. All this for my friend Othello. Oh no! Hamlet, turn around! He turned into a vampire! He's gonna bite you! Oh shit! Hamlet, I can't watch this! Hey everybody, I can't watch this!
Well, some of us are trying to.
John, please. Who said that? Which one of y'all dead motherfuckers just said that shit? Was it you, String Bean? You skinny ass looking motherfucker? Turn around and say it again! Turn around and say it again! Turn around, say it
Will
again!
you please be quiet?
John, that is the President of the United States.
I don't care who it is, he's ruining Hamlet.
Oh! Now you fucked up! Now you fucked up!
Him in
Now
the
you
distance.
fucked up! You have fucked up now! Now you fucked
You
up!
fucked up now.
Now you fucked up!
They're still
Now
doing
you
the stage
fucked
thing.
up! Now you fucked up! Now you fucked up! Now you
I've
have
heard
fucked
this
up!
on
Mr.
TikTok. I had
President, will
no
you
idea this was
please
it.
be quiet?
It
Suck
got
my
really popular on
presidential
TikTok.
cock, bitch! You fat ass piece of shit! You tubble-lard looking motherfucker! What? 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 What?
Still walking on the
What?
stage.
What? Hey! What? What? Huh? I don't know why you're looking up at me, bitch. Plays on stage. I'm not putting on a play up here. I'm trying to be entertained right now.
Mr. President, be quiet.
John, calm down.
Listen to the woman, John. Calm down. Just calm down. Calm down. Just calm down. Calm down. Hey, Acty, stop the play. Acty! Ho! Acty! Hey! Ho! I gotta go to the bathroom. I drank too much liquid. Now I gotta piss. I got a bottle. I got a bottle. It's all right. Rewind the play 5 minutes, though, because that fat piece of shit was talking. I couldn't pay attention to what you guys was doing. So rewind the play 5 minutes. And you shut the fuck up.
That's it. I'm gonna do what I should have done a long time ago.
John, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna beat him to death with this hammer.
What? John! John!
Ho! What are you doing, Skinny? What are you doing, you fat piece of shit? Where's he going? What's that fat piece of shit doing now?
What is his game?
Oh, shit! Ah! Ow! Ow! He's hitting me in the butt!
Just watch.
He's hitting my butt! Don't break my butt!
Don't know why I
Don't
thought
break
this
my
was the
butt!
funniest shit, and I
He's
think
breaking
about it.
my butt!
Ladies and gentlemen, that is what actually happened on that fateful night all those years ago. American historians and documentarians believe that the actual events were far too embarrassing for our fledgling nation to endure. But Abraham Lincoln actually got hammered in the ass so much that he died of being hammered in the ass. Thank you. Good night.
I always thinking, now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. You have fucked up now.
Oh my god.
And I think I heard it like 2 weeks ago on TikTok, and I have not been able to get it out of my head. Jesus Christ.
That makes me so happy. I love it.
So
It's the walking, it's the distance, it's the them still walking, circling on the stage, just like not stopping.
like rewatching it for the first time in like years. It's like it was very funny to me at the time, but it's like a little over the top now. But I thought it was so goddamn funny.
It's very true to What Is Good You Know. That's very much their whole thing.
Yeah.
Now that we're here, I'm going to earworm you all. You're welcome.
So excited. The only one I've known so far.
Oh god.
Oh yeah.
I love this robot. This is a whole battle.
Still fucking out there.
What does he want?
Did you call the police?
Yeah, like 2 hours ago.
Hey there.
Can we help you? How did he get here? How did you get here? And what does he want?
What do you want?
He wants sex.
Well, that is not happening, Buster.
You'll never stop.
It's not happening, Buster.
Oh my god.
He wants sex.
What are you?
What are you?
Told you no. Sexing up your town.
What did we learn here today?
Oh my god. So I love that sketch so deeply. I love it for so long. Echo, who wore the costume during that's interesting. So when I can't think of his name offhand. Fuck, he died.
Trevor Moore.
Thank you. When Trevor Moore passed away, they did like a final, like, you know, let's, you know, like a tribute stream where they hung out and talked about the, you know, their time with him and the stuff they did, and someone had asked about what happened to that costume, and so they told the story of that sketch. The story basically, like, one of them, I don't remember which one it was, wore the costume for just that scene with the cops, and he hated it so much. He's like, I'm not putting that thing back on. And everyone else in the group's like, well, we're all in the other scenes, so who's going to put it on? I'm not putting it on. And so some intern was like, I'll do it. I'll put it on. Okay, kid. So some intern wore the costume and did the dancing for every other scene in the sketch. And then they let him take it home because what are they going to do with it?
Aww.
And then years later,
That's good.
he sent them a photo. And the photo was like with a note that said, you know, to his final resting place, one last hurrah. And the kid put on the sex robot costume and did a polar swim in it. And it was a picture of him running into the ocean with it. And it was like foil and cardboard, so it did not survive its trip into the ocean. But like that's the last adventure for sex robot was charging into the ocean.
I hope he found whatever he was looking for.
Me too.
I mean, so far he was executed and then ran into an icy ocean. So unfortunately, I think he did not get what he sought. He humped the bars.
But if anyone's looking for more modern comedy, we were kind of skirted around talking about Oh Hello, which is phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
And me and Quinn have talked about this other one before, Middleditch and Schwartz. Both on Netflix, I do believe.
Both on Netflix.
Watch both of those things because they are live theater
Yes.
/ improv.
Live improv.
At its absolute pinnacle.
Yeah.
It is so
really
good.
I think.
Oh Hello was actually on Broadway, but then they recorded it for Netflix.
What was the other show
I
called?
have no idea how I ended up with so many theater
Middleditch
kids.
and Schwartz.
Like
What is it?
meeting so many theater kids
Middleditch.
when I had no interest
Yeah.
about this
There it
in
is.
high school. It's just
It is a completely improv. Like they go in not knowing what they will do and then take things from the audience. Grawb can just explain this.
Oh, it's these two guys.
Go for it.
There's a bunch of different names for it. I don't know if they call it a herald, but the type of sketch comedy. Yeah,
It's a herald.
It's called
Sure.
a herald, but not like it's not spelled like heralding. The people. It's herald the name. They just call it that. It's a herald, and what they do is they'll talk to an audience member for a second. And they'll be like, what's your name? What do you do? How did you get here? Something important about your life. And they'll take a bunch of information just from that. And it's not like they necessarily act out everything that person said, but they just take little bits and pieces from it. And then I believe then they also get like a location or some other thing from the audience. And then they just go. And it's a full length, half hour show? 40, maybe longer?
No, it's like an hour and something.
Yeah, it is long. It is long form improv. I was in a group in community college where we had our instructor of improv was probably too ambitious, and we did a few shows where we did heralds, and they did not go well because it's really, really hard.
It's a hard format.
I can
really hard.
imagine. Yeah.
This, I will say, I've literally never laughed harder Like me and my wife binged all of them in like a night or two, and we're crying. It was so funny.
I watched it by myself and I was laughing out loud.
It's
And that
so
doesn't happen when
yeah.
you're like by yourself. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no.
Like,
Mm.
oh, it's so funny. And then Oh Hello is not the same because it's kind of written, but like they do an improv intro thing, and it's Nick Kroll and John Mulaney dressed up as very old New Yorkers.
They're
And
playing those two characters.
yeah, they're playing like two characters, and they never leave character. And
Yeah.
that they do this whole preamble where they're talking to the audience, and then the second half of the show, the second act is like them putting on their show about like paying rent or something like that. But it is fucking wild. It is so funny.
It's so good.
I do like a lot of like Netflix specials though. Like Trevor Noah's Afraid of the Dark is one of my favorite sort of like stand-up comedies, like Netflix specials, because it really touches on like I don't know, like different languages and accents and like a lot of stuff that felt kind of relatable to me as well. And it's just plain as funny. What else? There's this I'm gonna hate myself because I'm just going to say like, oh, this Indian comedian, but I want to remember his name. He wasn't on SNL, he was on the late night show, maybe. Let me check. But he also had one that was called like Homecoming or something, and that was really funny as well.
I know which one you're talking about.
He has a show also on Netflix that is like news, but you know, comedy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Let me Google
yes, Captain Adam. They are both, I believe, the creators of Big Mouth, or one of. I think Nick Kroll created Big Mouth, and obviously brought John Mulaney on because
Hassan Minhaj.
inseparable.
Hassan
Hassan Minhaj.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Minhaj. Yeah. That was amazing because it was so funny because he was talking about basically his homecoming, which is not a relatable experience to me, but like how being like not like a teenager and asking someone out, but also a lot of like things dealing with racism and like immigrating parents, and like how his life experience was so different to his parents, you know, and that sort of like breach there, and like a lot of sort of like he trying to understand his identity, but also being really, really funny, and I really like it. For me, sometimes though, like North American comedy can be very hit or miss, obviously, because they're different like cultures. Like we have a specific sense of humor, particularly my side of South America has a specific sense of humor. So sometimes I will like with Saturday Night Live, I will be like, oh yeah, that's funny because logically I know it's funny, but not because it tickles my funny
You don't have
bone,
to
so
explain why you're not laughing at Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
A lot of SNL is like, I get what they were going for.
Yeah.
Assembly line comedy.
Yeah, and I
doesn't
think
work.
there's a lot of comedy that it's funny because it's relatable, so it's obviously easier for me to laugh at Chilean comedians because they're speaking about, you know, experiences that are closest to my experience. And there's a lot of stuff like it's just like relationship problems or things like that. A lot of stand-up comedies like sometimes about that. But it's just funny to like be represented in a way. So Grawb and Mulaney.
Because like there's so many stand-up comedians I've really loved throughout the years, and they've all ended up being terrible people.
Yeah.
I mean, stand-up comedians are not the best people. Like, I don't know if anyone follows the John Mulaney drama, but that was a trip. That was not on my bingo card.
The John Mulaney drama, as in like the thing where Dave Chappelle ended up on stage, or the John Mulaney, because other people are saying there's John Mulaney drama because of like he got divorced and like started dating Olivia Munn, and it's like that part doesn't bother me. The Dave Chappelle thing.
Dave Chappelle. Yeah.
Kind of pisses me off.
That's the biggest offender. But
then
as
also
someone that used to follow him on Instagram, it was a trip though. The whole sort of like marriage kind of stuff. It wasn't something that I thought I will get acquainted with during this year. You know, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, he's just ticking all the boxes, which is kind of sad.
I was not slightly, I was very peeved because me and my wife and a couple other peeps had gotten tickets for the John Mulaney show in Madison Square Garden like months and months advance.
Mhm.
And then the only thing I knew was about Dave Chappelle coming on and making some very not okay statements.
Yeah.
Very not okay,
As
very
he do now.
transphobic, as he do. And it was so disheartening.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I still want to believe that because I don't think for a second that John Mulaney holds like the shitty opinions that Dave Chappelle does.
Oh yeah.
And like even at the time of that, I know John Mulaney's big now, but like Dave Chappelle is and has been whether you like him or not, and now I don't like him anymore, but he has been one of the biggest names of comedy and incredibly influential. And like, I know it feels a little different to talk about power dynamics when it's between two men than when it is between like a man and whatever. But like, what do you do if you're John Mulaney there? Do you go on the news because you say you've denied Dave Chappelle? Like, what do you do? Like, I think he did the wrong thing, but like, I don't think that he was just like, yeah, buddy, go on, say your shit.
Oh, it's
Part
pressure.
of me
I'm fine with
wondered
it.
how much like what me and wife and other people had discussed was like I wonder how much he actually like. I mean, he probably knew Dave Chappelle was going on, but like, what if it was just the same like agent person who was like booking like spots and the person went on, like kind of like that, like not fully in like I don't think it was in Mulaney's control.
Yeah, and
to
it was
put them
also.
on or not.
I'm sure Dave Chappelle has been a shitty person for a very long time, but this was kind of nearer the beginning of everyone realizing Dave Chappelle was a piece of shit. And I don't think he had reappeared to double down on anything up until that point. So maybe there was like a hesitant like, you made a mistake, and then he didn't, and he's a piece of shit. And I feel bad, and I know John Mulaney did the wrong thing. Nothing is me like excusing the behavior or whatever. But I do not personally think that John Mulaney is like transphobic or anything like that.
No,
If
the
he
thing
proves
is
me wrong,
that
he proves me wrong.
No, yeah.
But like
Yeah.
I'm not willing to jump to that conclusion.
I think the main issue wasn't that Mulaney like had this part or like whatever and therefore he's transphobic. It's more like the complicit silence of white men. And how most people in positions of privilege tend to just stay silent because they don't want to be uncomfortable. They don't want to get uncomfortable, and therefore you silence the struggles of the minorities because you just don't want to go there. We're all having such a good
was my big
time.
thing.
I don't want to dude, you have this platform. Your whole deal is also appealing to a certain demographic that may very well be the demographic being attacked here. And therefore this compliance, like the silence that you're deciding to take on, is going to have consequences. It's just that. It's like actions made consequences. That's it. Like, nobody's saying like, oh yeah, of course Jim Mulaney is transphobic. It's more like, I think the overall disappointment of a part of the audience going like, oh, so he's the same as everybody else.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was my most upset thing. Is not like whether or not he knew that Dave Chappelle was going to be on there, or what he was going to be doing. He just didn't come back and say anything.
Yeah.
like nothing. Like that's imagine like if I was doing a thing and somebody opened for me, and they did a shitty thing. and I had the reach to in the audience of like, oh, I don't believe in that. I didn't have control over the person being here or what they said or what their act was. But I will sure the fuck step up unless I have the same. I'm not saying he does, but like, like I would have stepped up and have said something.
I think
like he doesn't even need to do like an explicit sort of like what this guy just said is wrong. Like maybe put it like maybe just I don't know, say a joke about it. Even if it just needs to go with the whole like, oh, it was just a joke. Like, but something to undermine that opinion.
Undermine it, yeah.
You know?
I think Hugh said more or less
Not that it's like, oh, this is okay, we can say these things. Yeah, I don't mind if other people say these things in the same platform that I'm saying my things.
So I think what I heard Grawb trying to say, and Hugh's also saying in chat, I think it's important to remember that we don't really know the full spectrum dynamics. I mean, I didn't see the event. I am disappointed in retrospect. It would have been nice for Mulaney in the moment to be like, not cool, bro, or to say something to try and cut the tension, or after in an interview to be like, and he may still be like, that was uncomfortable. I wish he hadn't have done that. But the reality is that Chappelle could end the guy. There would just be no more Mulaney.
Yeah.
He would never get gigs anymore, wouldn't be a comedian, and if that's what he wants to do, he had to make a choice. Do I get to keep doing this fight to live my dream, or do I say the right thing and then burn down and then have to work in Walmart? That's a hard thing for anyone to make a choice on. That's really hard. And he probably feels like garbage as a result, right? Like, how do you get out of that? You know, I don't know. So, I mean, I think the best thing here is that in the moment he made the wrong call, hopefully in some interview in the future, he'll be like, yo, you know, I mean, I remember he might also come out and be like, you know, kiss Chappelle's ass and be like, well, yeah, it was the right thing, whatever. Just make sure I get more gigs. Like, it's hard. Like, who knows? I mean, the elephant in the room for me is that this is not the first time Chappelle was an absolute dirtbag, but like he said some transphobic shit years ago. And then he came out and he had this moment where he said, I fucked up. I shouldn't have said that. I, in fact, had a relationship with a trans woman and I feel uncomfortable about that. And I'm just dealing with my feelings about that. And I was wrong. And I was like, shit, that's great. And now he's doubling down on it. So I don't know, he's clearly not actually processed all of it, right? On some level, he's aware he's wrong. And that is going to make him probably fire up more. And who knows, he may never pull out of the nosedive he's in. So. I mean, don't go see Chappelle.
I guess I'm just not that sympathetic to people that have privilege that don't take their platforms to make stands, because the same could be said about many, like, you know, people of colors who are comedians and they're trying to make a living and they still take stances, you know, or female comedians or people from queer spaces. And so why does this white man get a pass at this? I'm sorry, I'm very sort of like...
You're allowed to be angry at him. That's fine. Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, not angry, but I'm just like annoyed. Like, why are we making excuses? Like, and I think that's the whole sort of like making false idols out of people. Like, yeah, that was a shitty thing to do because people can do shitty things. And it doesn't matter that you like their comedy or like their work. It doesn't make them any less shitty, and it's okay that you, as the audience, accept that, and that you sort of like embrace the fact that you can enjoy, you know, whatever they make in terms of like content creation or art or work or whatever, but you can still disagree with them, or you can still say that's a shitty thing to do. They should have said something, maybe not in that moment, maybe afterwards, maybe just like until sort of like not even speaking up, maybe just a tweet, maybe just a small sort of like
I mean, there was that whole season of Big Mouth that heavily featured a trans character, and it told a very heartwarming story, which is like, you know, also using their platform for a very good. It ended up being a kind of a sad story, but like doesn't make it any less real. Like I love that season.
That was a good season.
And it's one of those things like absolutely. I do feel like there's probably a point in a lot of every famous person's career where they're at the point where they can safely take stands and not risk their job, but probably don't realize they are there yet.
Sure.
And like I through so much of other John Mulaney's work, I've felt like it's been very inclusive and positive toward a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna. I can hold both things in my head that was a fuck up, and you should absolutely get the Dave Chappelle the fuck out of there, while also being like, life is hard, especially being a stand-up. You can't. There is no like you fucking work and work and work and you fucking beg for stuff for so long. And John Mulaney struggled for so long. He wasn't even allowed to act on SNL for a while he was a writer there probably because Lorne Michaels didn't like him, which was a huge mistake because he's fucking electric on stage. But the dude was working hard, and it was a clearly big mistake, but I'm not gonna indict someone for that. If he came out later and said like, it wasn't no problem, but then they did that, and then they had that season, The Big Mouth, that had a great story about it that clearly he was a part of because he's one of the people on the show. But I don't know. It's a tough conversation to have.
I just want to point out Rin everyone is having amazing opinions in chat, but Rin is the best comment that has said, because he said we expect him to speak and then he didn't, because it's a callback to one of John Mulaney's jokes. They're doing John Mulaney joke about John Mulaney. I like that. Thank you, Rin. It was amazing.
Pre-roll ads.
I will say. Oh no, you're good, Dad.
I'm gonna run ads, but you go ahead and say the thing before ads.
I was, of course, not kind of all what you've said, Grawb, not excusing John Mulaney, but I also I do wish he would come out and say something against it now and be like, that was shitty, that was fucked, and not be like, that was dope. If he says that, then
which actually makes me think it might be something to do with his agency, because he does a lot of Netflix specials. I wonder if they have similar agencies. He may not be allowed to say anything about Dave Chappelle.
Maybe not say anything, but maybe
I don't know.
Maybe
That's
tune a bit more like that episode of Big Mouth. You can do other things that are sort of implicit, but that make a statement anyway. After that, maybe putting more relevance into or try to grab people's attention more about this specific topic. And no one is asking him to really go up in arms if it really is going to be so harmful for his career. But there are other stuff that you can do that you're not doing, and you have the platform for it.
Yeah. Could always be doing more. Are we on? Wait, we're not on.
No, I wanted to wait for the closing statement.
Wait, are we having this conversation now? For some reason,
No. Ads running now. So Quinn, something else interesting that has nothing to do with John Mulaney. And we'll be back in a minute. Get water, everybody. There you go.
Oh, I was what was I gonna say last time? It was the dog cookies. I feel like I didn't explain myself enough with these fucking dog cookies.
All right, go for it. Round 2.
Hold on, I have to Oh, hi, Dad. Are you going to go? I thought you were going. Oh, you wouldn't stretch last time.
I'm here.
But I talked about there was these cookies that for dogs, but it's to the same degree of when you make a homemade peanut butter thing with flour, and it makes technically humans can eat it. It doesn't have any dog thing in it, meat or anything. And I just thought they were cookies, and I ate those for a hot minute, and then I found out that they were, and I finished the pack I was on.
I love that knowingly still finishing it.
I imagine you just eating one, and someone's like, "Those are dog biscuits," and you're like,
crunch.
I'm gonna try to find them. I can't express to you. They low key. Obviously, I didn't go back for them, but they were just shittier Oreos. They were just hella plain, hella bland Oreos.
Well, yeah, there better not be any damn chocolate in those dog cookies.
Or sugar.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Oh my goodness. What kind of Missy Elliott is this gym leader? Oh fuck. I don't know if I've seen the Missy Elliott. Yeah.
No, I'm telling him no spoilers. I do love her character design. I mean, you can already see her little miniature in the map.
Oh yeah.
Because
I probably
Yeah,
haven't like
so
looked that hard. It's not.
no,
It's
it's
not
okay.
that's not the VTuber one.
No, no,
The
no, no,
streamer one.
no,
Which is
no.
a
It's someone that I actually mentioned on my last stream that I really like her character design. Because it's clearly like a woman from African descent, and she looks amazing.
Yeah.
It's a great design. Like the eyeliner, like she wears this sort of like gold eyeliner that looks amazing with her skin tone, and like the way that they
Well,
made
I've seen
like her
pictures of her
hair.
online already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like her outfit, like you don't feel like they're making fun of her, even if like some of the dialogue that she has is kind of cringy, but it's only
I mean,
because
that's
the
Pokemon.
writers,
Yeah.
yeah, you can tell that it's something that it's about the writers, and it's not like the writers trying to make fun of her kind of thing. I really like how they treat her character, because Asian creators can be really tricky at portraying people from African descent, because racism, with the depictions of their lips, and I can go on and on about how many animes have, gone that
Yeah.
route. So it was really sort of like nice and heartwarming to see her, particularly because Spain is very close to, Morocco and other like African countries. So, and they have a deep relationship, like a historic relationship with, when people from that side, like from that continent, actually came in to live to Spain, and they have all this sort of like intercultural kind of like experiences. So I really like that they didn't even mention that, but it's just a thing that because you were colonized by Spain, so you know about the history, so you can sort of like pick up like, oh, that's why, you see this sort of like range of different ethnicities, because it is actually based on, the story of Spain and Portugal.
Yeah, Pokemon has had some sketchy designs in the
Yeah.
past.
We have to have a segment.
Yeah, it's good that they're getting better, because it really is. You have two you have several people, like characters, NPCs, that are clearly people of color in the new Pokemon game, right? And the ones that are clearly like from African descent, that they're related. You can tell because their designs are very similar. The way that they're portrayed is very good. It's very healthy. It's like all in good fun. And I just really liked her eyeliner. I was like, dude, that color, like that tone of gold with her skin tone. Because there's also a lot of like when you try to depict people that from other ethnicities, they go all wrong with the color choices and like things that don't really flatter them, because you're not used to design things for like people that don't like look like you. And there's a whole other shebang. So you could tell that was like something that was done with love and care in her design. So yeah. And the city that she's in is one of actually my favorite cities of the game. It's really cool, the design. I really like it.
I'm excited to get there. I'm really having fun with that game.
It is really fun, which is
I'm
awful.
really liking it.
I want to hate it.
Wait,
Right?
Why do you want it?
Because like
this is badly done. It's badly done, and I feel very, very
But it's just
offended
proof
that
that,
they
like,
decided that yeah, sure, we can ship this, and everyone will still like it.
it's fundamentally broken, but
Yeah.
also it just proves that like open world Pokemon is like very fun and very good. And I don't know. I've been spreading this. I don't think it's a hot take, but maybe controversial take, like wildfire all the time, because it's a very fun Pokemon game with some serious issues, but it's the most fun I've had with Pokemon since probably the first time I played Pokemon Red and Blue. I liked Red and Blue a lot. Kind of started losing its magic after that, and then this one I feel hooked again. I'm very much liking it. But this is the lowest rated Pokemon out of any of the mainline Pokemons.
Wow, really?
And I feel like it's bullshit. And not because this Pokemon game should not be getting 9s or 10s. Don't get me wrong. This is a solid 7.5, 8.5 game. But fucking the last Sword and Shield got like 9 out of 10 from so many places. Every other Pokemon game's got like perfect scores for like years. Why? Because it's all the same game. It's been the same for so long, and then this
Yeah,
one's
but at
new
least
and
it was.
fun.
Yeah, I know, but you can still not excuse the level of like the textures, the copy pasting of the
Oh
textures. The
god, it's
hills just
so
look the
bad.
same.
It's
You
so
know,
bad.
the
My
frame
argument is
rate
that
just
Pokemon's been
dips.
at like a 7 to 8, to like maybe 6 or 7 for a decade.
Mhm.
But I mean, obviously, the remakes of older Pokemon games get a pass because they're just remaking the good ones, like
Mhm.
back in the time when it was like still fresh and new. So you get that little hit of nostalgia. But like Pokemon, I feel like it hasn't been good for so long, and they were still getting perfect scores. And then this one comes out and does something different, and it's fucking broken. But it's getting worse scores. It should get like the same score, and they should all
You
be
know
lower.
what? That's how I feel about Arceus.
I
What you're saying is exactly how I feel about Arceus. It's like finally Pokemon is doing something different, you know, they're changing the formula, and people hate it. Why do you hate it? It's good. Like we're going like in the right path. The thing is not perfect,
It's
but
not
it's like
perfect.
but the intention are
Arceus
there,
is
and they're
not-
trying new things. But it's at least that game runs on the Switch. You know.
Well, yeah, they just had to take out literally everything to make it
Yeah,
run. It's the most
but-
barren ass. Hugh, shut up.
What happened? You would
Me with
love it.
Breath of the Wild. Get the fuck out of
Okay,
here.
Ren, like there's a thing that okay, people kind of hide behind the whole but the graphics in Pokemon have never been that well. But you can see the textures separating. You can
it's buggy
see
as hell. Yeah, it's a buggy mess.
like changes in lighting because
Yeah.
you access a menu. So you're in a Pokemon battle, right? And the setting is night. So everyone has a shade, you know, a shadow because it's night. But you access the menu and then the shadows disappear. And it looks like you're in the middle of the day because you access the menu that is something that you need to access to keep playing the game, you know? And it just changes. So it goes from night to day, from night to day, in something as simple as a Pokemon battle, which is the core of the mechanic of the game. That's not a finished game.
I do feel like
You're
Pokemon has
fucking with
existed in
that.
this weird world where they've gotten to live like so many game developers made games on Super Nintendo and then they moved to Nintendo 64. And it's like, you know what, that's a huge jump graphically. And original Nintendo 64 games had repeating textures, had a lot of jank, but they got it out, they made it, and they learned. Pokemon's been on handheld for so long. I feel like they're just now being like, oh, fuck, we should have made some textures that don't repeat like this, huh? Because it worked on all of our Game Boy games for 20 years. Like, but it doesn't fucking work now. Like, again, this isn't an excuse. They make a bunch of fucking money. But,
Yeah.
like, you can see the improvement. You can definitely see the improvement. They're learning. They are just pushing themselves beyond what they know, which is very, very apparent.
Sekiro combination
It's-
for Pokemon.
Oh, that'd be so
Yeah.
fun.
I think that, you know, the sad thing is that I do not think that the low scores are unwarranted. I think they're warranted. But that will make it so the good things about the game get like completely sort of like hidden or like buried under all of that, you know. And that's really sad because they were trying something new and they were trying something that really should be the path that the Pokemon games should have taken like years ago. And we were talking about this on your stream the other day, Grawb, I think, that the game will have been amazing if they would have released it like next year.
Oh yeah. It'd be
Give
perfect.
that game
Ladies, I
one
agree.
more
Any good
year.
No,
And it would
was
have been amazing, you know? But like they didn't need to release 2 games at the same during the same year. They didn't need to. everyone will have just been as happy, like, oh, like I don't know, the hardcore Pokemon fan knows that Arceus is not a mainline game, therefore it's not the Pokemon game of the year. We know that, but most people don't know that. Most of the people that are going to buy the game don't know that, you know?
Are you
And
saying
so
that
they could
Pokemon
have
fans
done-
aren't discerning?
What?
Are you saying that Pokemon fans aren't discerning? Like, they don't.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't know. I mean, that's
because they bought the same game for 20 years.
It was a slow cook burn.
Said
I
it
thought
was
but
perfect for 20 years.
Yeah.
And then a new one comes out that just runs a little bit poorly, but is completely new.
I'm sorry, Grawb. It's not a little bit poorly. It's very poorly. Okay.
I mean, the game's only crashed for me once.
It's not even that the whole crashing thing, you know. I know that for some people that have very bad experiences, to the point that they haven't been able to keep playing the game, you know, because they get, I don't know, frozen in falling animations forever and ever, you know, and they have to sort of like. But for me, that's not even like what you need to say that something's not goodly made, like well built. You know, for me, it's the whole experience, is the dropping of the frames, is the whole sort of like the camera angles not working on the. Look, if the whole game didn't look that well, but the core aspects of the game were badly. I mean, they were well built, like Pokemon battles, which is what you're going to be doing 90% of the time. I will be like more permissive, like, oh yeah, look, it could have needed more polish, but it was well crafted. But when your game, like your core mechanic, isn't working sometimes, that's an issue, in my opinion. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I my stance is that I think this game probably got a fair rating. It blows me away that one reviewer can have played Pokemon Sword and Shield or any of the other ones and given them 9 out of 10, and then played this one and been like 6. The frames drop.
I mean, was it a
because
same?
like the game is still good and fun. Like, there's a lot of great stuff in this game.
I think there's also a lot of that. No one never thought that they will get like weird frame drops in a Pokemon game. It's not something that you assume will have that kind of struggles. So maybe that's why they also kind of like a lot of reviewers got taken aback. Like, wait, what? Like, why is this happening on my Pokemon game? Like, this should be like very simple kind of thing.
I think they're just taking out aggression they've had toward the Pokemon franchise for like the last 10 years. And they're taking it out on this one because the community's given them an excuse to do it.
It's finally coming to pass, you see, a little bit.
I mean, you know, I'm very sad
sure
that this game is so bad because this is the closest a Pokemon game has ever gone to actually sort of like representing my culture. Yes, my colonizer's culture, but still, there's a lot of things that I've never had of like understanding the joke kind of thing with, you know, the names of the Pokemons, the names of the marts and all of that. So when I'm being like, some people may think that I'm being like very harsh with the game, but it also comes from a place of frustration because like, oh, of course you had to fucked up the game that actually kind of represents me a little bit. You know, where the NPCs have names that are similar. There's an NPC with my name. It's one of the Pokemon trainers that you can battle, you know? And it's like, and it's not, it doesn't have the accent, which was very weird to me. Like, you're putting a name that is in Spanish. Why didn't you put the accent?
Right?
It's
Pokemon has an accent.
Yeah,
like, what are you doing?
Just put the accent in the I in Maria. What's the problem with that anyway? But yeah, I mean, any type of game that sort of like breaks the mold gets a lot of harsh feedback at first. I'm sure that in the future we will look at Scarlet and Violet and say like, oh yeah, that buggy game, but we love it so much, you know.
That we look back on and like, this is where Pokemon, the new age of Pokemon began.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I think their
That's
next mainline game is going to be very good.
I mean, we need
at least
I'm
much
very
more
excited.
passable. Yeah.
Pokemon
I'm very excited
needs
for the next open. Pokemon game.
Pokemon needs reviewers to shit all over it. Because here, I'm going to help you all. I'm going to help Pokemon fans everywhere. Pokemon is stagnant. It is stale. It is boring as fuck. It's time to do something with it. And I mean, I've been looking at this for a week now, trying to figure. I do not really understand the relationship between Nintendo, Game Freak, and whatever the third company is. There's 3 companies that all own Pokemon.
And like Monster Incorporate or something like that.
Yeah, it's a creature or some shit. Yeah.
Creature. Yeah.
So they all own it, and so I mean, it looks like
Monsters,
it's not that Nintendo owns Game Freak or anything. There are independent entities with some kind of a partnership going here. They all have a stake in the game, and their fingers are in the pot. And that means that, I mean, I was complaining about this a couple weeks ago. This is a segment on the show now. We have a formal segment on Thadeshammer's Friday streams where we talk about, we shit on poor Pokemon for 30 minutes. That's the segment we're experiencing right now. But like,
it's what new and fresh.
From 2 Pokemon lovers.
Right. So why is it that Nintendo has not just been like, look, just use the Breath of the Wild engine, use the Mario 64 engine or the modern Mario engine. Like we have functional fucking frameworks you can use, and your stuff won't look like garbage, and you won't have to spend time baking an engine from scratch. Which, I mean, that's why they have texture tearing and eyeballs sticking out and arms flapping around and weird shit. It's because all the wireframe issues. Like if they just used fucking Unreal, it's all baked in. It's much easier to like trace that stuff and fix it and. It's easier.
We were talking about this with Big Name Fiance, and we arrived to the conclusion of like maybe it's just a proprietary issue that they can't share the thing.
I mean, Nintendo can make the call, but maybe they don't like Game Freak, or Game Freak's like, no, it's our baby, and we don't want you to have too much control. I mean, so here's a segue out of nowhere, but just so you have a sort of an idea of how this works in general. I forget the game in question. It was Matt Colville was working on this game a while ago. It was after the Commandos game or whatever he did, and before he left the industry and started working on role-playing games professionally. And he had they kept sending revisions of the script writing to the people who had bought in and now owned the game. They kept sending script revisions, and every time they just got a no, we don't like it, no feedback. Nothing. No, we don't like it. We're gonna do something else with it. And they got really frustrated, and they talked to another guy who'd been working with this group for a while. Good night, Chris. And they said, why don't they like the script? And their friend / boss is like, what do you mean? They haven't read it. They're not going to read it. Well, why not? Because they want control. And writing is a thing they can just shit out themselves right now, or they can hire someone else that they control to do it, and then they have control of this thing. And then if there's a sequel to it, it's their game and not ours, right? They can't. Coding is hard. Art is a little less hard, but they can't do art either. But they feel like they can just write, and it doesn't have to be good because it's a video game and they control it. There's a lot of that kind of shit happening in parts of the video game industry. Like people just want to retain control of it. So it could be that I'm actually half right. Nintendo was like, look, just use this so it doesn't suck, or take some of our people, give it to us. Our team will build it. Send us your good people. We'll do it. And Game Freak's like, no,
totally.
They want to own it.
You know why I think that Game Freak is like not giving out the game? It's because we've had other Pokemon not mainland games done by other people that look way better.
Yeah.
Like Pokemon Snap looks amazing, and that was by Bandai. And clearly you can see that other people can make very good Pokemon games,
We could make a better Pokemon game. I mean, come on.
It's like on rails. Like it's like a bunch of like theme park rides, pretty much.
Yeah,
you can dedicate a lot more graphics.
I'm not talking about the gameplay, but the whole sort of like they can create a world that looks like how the Pokemon fans want it to look for a long while, right? So I feel like it's very much like you could totally give it to other companies that have more experience or have bigger teams, and they could do it right. We have like good experiences with that. It's just that it feels like Game Freak just doesn't want to give it out. My fiance was telling me that apparently they made another game that wasn't Pokemon just to test the waters, if they could like have another good game and not be the Pokemon company I mean, not the actual Pokemon company, but you know, the studio that only does Pokemon, and it did really badly. And it was like, whoop, because we're stuck with Pokemon then.
Yeah, they made one game like a couple years ago that was some weird turn-based battling thing with some weird kid with tall hair. See, it seemed very weird. Wasn't very well received.
Little Time Hero.
Yeah. But also maybe there's another reason, like maybe they couldn't just like, you know, be like, hey, play with the Breath of the Wild engine, is because the Breath of the Wild engine itself was a collaboration with Nintendo and Monolith Soft, who make the Xenoblade Chronicles series.
Interesting. Okay.
Nintendo actually got help with that. Because Xenoblade Chronicles, I've never played a single one of those games. It looks way too like anime weeby for my own personal taste.
They are very
but
much
the
so.
graphics,
worlds they
amazing.
make are huge
Yeah.
and incredible, and the graphics are phenomenal. And it's
Yeah.
running on Switch, like, and so I wonder if there's like a weird thing, like, could Nintendo just let Pokemon do that, and Monolith, like, then would they have to cut Monolith Soft also into profits from Pokemon, like? Does that become like a weird legal
no, you're
thing?
right.
Like,
There's a lot of that stuff. Yeah, I mean, Picnic Fiance has nailed it right there. Like, if they don't have Pokemon, they're gone. They're nothing. Pokemon makes them a giant, and Pokemon is, they have the Nintendo magic. I have to admit, so as you all know, I'm not the biggest Zelda fan anymore, but it's hard. I can't say it's a bad game. It's obviously a well-made game. It's beautiful. A lot of people really love it, and they care. They loved that game. They put a lot of work into that game. I guarantee you that the next Zelda entry is going to have similar love and magic behind it, because they're really having a good time and they care. They want you to love it as much as they love it. I feel like Game Freak does not.
Just like 6 months from now.
Game Freak doesn't care that way. They don't give a shit. They don't have to, because if they poop out 2 Pokemon games, everyone will buy it. They make a bajillion fucking dollars. People will complain a little bit, and they'll do it again. And people, it's like they forget, and then they buy the next pair, and then it's like it's the same game, and it's buggy, and it sucks, and they'll just do it again and again and again. I mean, that's why I'm hoping that reviewers shit harder on this the next couple of generations, so that they'll be like, oh, we better do something, or we're going to lose the thing that makes us good. It might be too late.
Grawb, you know, it's understandably hurt about how the critics are reacting, but while it's still the highest grossing Pokemon game sold on the Switch, you know, they already sold billions of copies, because Pokemon games sell. Pokemon games also sell consoles, you know, so yeah, it's
a lot of political power.
Like harsh feedback from the critics, but in terms of numbers and, you know, how much money they're making, that they do not go hand in hand. They're still making tons of billions of dollars out of the game.
I'm sorry to tell
everyone
you
is
all.
buying it, and it's going to spike now during the holidays, because everyone is going to buy the Pokemon game for presents, because it makes a great present if you're not a diehard Pokemon fan.
Hopefully they patch it for you or something. But it's never going to get better.
I'm sure it'll get patched. I also think they can't delay Pokemon games like they delay other things, because Pokemon does not just make money from the games. They also do the Pokemon cards, and the new Scarlet Violet series of cards comes out in mid-January.
And the anime and the plushies and all that.
There's a bunch of stuff planned, and if suddenly they delay the game, they can't have the cartoon showing a bunch of Pokemon that no one's been able to catch yet. Like, they can't release a bunch of cards from a game that hasn't come out. Like, I mean, they could just rework that by, you know, working with other parts of the company and timing shit out at a more reasonable pace.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not what we've had.
But that doesn't make money fast.
Like Hades 2 coming out. We could talk about good games.
So hype about Hades 2.
I don't know anything about Hades 2 other than the trailer. I'm sure it'll be great. I have a lot of faith in that team to make pretty good games, and so.
Poor Picnic Fiance had to hear me muttering the whole trailer, just going like, oh, maybe that's Ekete. Oh, maybe, like going ham about Greek mythology. He was like, please just let me watch the trailer. Like, oh my God. And that one was referencing whatever.
I mean, we now have a mouse-controlled UI and tutorial for Dwarf Fortress. So all other video games can stop producing. We're good. We can just like
I have
move into.
so many people have told me to play Dwarf Fortress, and it seems like a very interesting and very fun game, and it seems like a fucking stream killer. I
think you have to look in their little heads and read and make a story out of it. It'll work for my format because I've done that before, where I made up stories about Dwarf Romantic. And some of those are my best performing streams. People will come in and listen to me make up stories about it. And Dwarf Fortress kind of does that.
Romantic.
And Dwarf Fortress is very RimWorld in that random shit happens, and it's very grotesque in describing in gross detail, when there are fights. You have to do the reading. Literally, you have to open the menus up and read stuff and
Oh fuck! That sounds like everything I never do in a video.
Right, yeah, and so it's not very. The action is all very subtle. You
Call of Duty Warzone.
Read it. The UI makes it playable.
I don't have enough room on my computer for Warzone.
Warzone. I mean, I don't even know that I'd want that kind of a stream. I mean, Warzone fans and viewers, one, that's a hard space to compete in, but also, two, they're not pleasant people.
Right. The closest thing to a Warzone that I would ever stream is a Fortnite, with people that I like.
I would totally play Fortnite with you, just so you know.
Oh, let's play
The new
Fortnite.
Battle Pass just came out.
I think I have to
It's my partner's
reinstall
fault.
it.
Listen,
but-
it's my partner's fault.
But
They
it's
both
a
play.
fun game. I got no
beautiful.
issue with it. No build mode. I haven't played no build mode yet, but that's
what I
my
like.
dream.
I like that there's no build mode. I stopped playing. I played it whenever it first came out, when it was survival thing, and then
You played it when it first came out?
Yeah. And then
I played it when it first came out. Me and
Wow.
3 of my coworkers all bought it, and we're building in our home base, because you go to your little base and then you level up to the next the deserty land base. And we're all helping each other farm stuff for our bases. And then you get to the point in the game where it's everything you have to grind for everything or pay money, and it was ugh.
No, it does, yeah.
So
then
did you
also
play when
there's
the first battle royale mode happened? Did you play
Yeah.
that first? I played in that first week, and I was like, "This sucks," because it did suck.
That's exactly how it went for me.
Like Pokemon Arceus. It was just plain, and nothing was out there, and everything was glitchy.
And quite frankly, them putting the no build mode is one of the only reasons I went back, aside from partners enjoying
The only
it.
reason I would ever play it again.
I never played build mode ever.
Even when there was building, I would never do it because I don't.
No.
I'm not
It's
gonna
too
win. So those people that have the
No, I
button
almost
presses
got a dub.
memorized.
I almost got a dub by myself solo earlier. I got second place because somebody pulled some cheesy shit, but it's fine. I'm not salty.
You're playing solo Fortnite?
Wow.
Let's go.
I have to get better. Look, the other 2 people I play with are so good. I gotta get you.
Is this Quinn's training arc?
Maybe so.
You gonna stream Fortnite? Is that you're going to a Fortnite stream?
Streamers.
Oh god,
I
no.
don't
That's
know about that.
my final resting place. I mean, Fortnite, it just falls into the same trap, right? Here, let's go. Let's see.
Fortnite is such a
Let's go on a
category.
journey together.
Oh yeah,
shall we?
you can't. No one's
You
gonna
can't
find
stream
you.
Fortnite. It's like streaming League of Legends.
Yeah, no. Which is
yeah.
another game I would happily stream with a team of people that I know and like.
That's why.
Well,
I
that's
would
literally
only
the Fortnite
stream
channel. Where's
If
the
I
Fortnite
was doing
category?
a fun thing with other people, I would
Exactly.
never solo stream Fortnite. Yeah, no,
No.
me and Average talked about also doing Fall Guys times.
Have you done Fall Guys on stream before?
Me?
Yeah.
I love Fall Guys. I played it a crap ton whenever we
Okay,
used to do
good.
free game nights. Oh, I love Fall Guys.
Fall Guys streams are so fun. I love
Fortnite
Fall Guys
Valley called it now. I'll figure out how to Stardew Valiant. I'll make my characters though. My characters will help me Stardew Valiant. That's how the little characters. I am a sucker for the little battle pass.
87.
What's your favorite skin?
1,000 viewers right
Okay,
now.
holy heck. Yeah, that makes sense.
And the funny thing is, a lot of these streams, they're a pretty good mix. There are a couple of 10-person and 15-person streams up here. They're not all
Well, I
hundreds.
guess yeah. Now that it's going by suggested to you instead of top to bottom, maybe you could.
It's possible you
But-
might be able to find people this way. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
Maybe,
test
but
it. You all can
previously
test it. Let me know how it works
very-
for your numbers. I will guess. I'll
It'd
guess
be a
occasionally
very
report on stream.
kind of category.
I mean, I
I mean, I
played.
need to figure out what to play after I finish Pokemon, because I think I'm 2 streams from finishing it.
I will say
That's an
like,
anxiety you're gonna feel so many times from now on.
yeah.
No.
Just pick a game and stay with it forever, and then you'll never ever.
Stardew Valley. Seriously,
wish.
stream. So I would recommend either. Seriously, I would recommend either if you're ready for an uptick. Save your Dark Souls first stream, because when you stream Dark Souls for your first time, you'll have a plus 20 to plus 30 viewership. It's really great to save that for your partner rush, because it'll give you a consistent plus when you do that. Pro tip. I should have waited. 2. Stardew Valley. The people who will raid you when you play Stardew Valley are so charming and nice. You'll make a lot of new friends. People love Stardew Valley streams. They're very, very chill. And if you like Stardew Valley,
I have to play it like with mods, because I always play it on the Switch, and there's so many pretty mods out there.
I mean, it's time for mods.
That they change like the buildings and all of that, like the artisan mod. I am kind of interested in. So yeah, maybe I could play some Stardew.
I wanna say that you could stream whatever you want, follow you bliss with whatever game, but don't pick categories based on how popular they are.
Well, yeah, that's a fail. Yeah.
No,
like it's not.
It's
a good
interesting to
for
talk
anybody
about, but don't do it. Like
no.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen the top cats, and I'm like, I'm not interested in any of this game.
Oh, they recommend me streaming the most crazy shit. Let me see the last time they recommended me something.
Okay. I found out surprisingly. I know not a lot of people believe me, but I did do stuff before Stardew. I just think a lot of y'all followed me during Stardew. I promised I was variety at some point.
Gabe, I love how obscure the games that you play on stream are. I'm like always like, what is this? And you spend like 5 minutes trying to explain it. I'm like, okay, let's watch it then.
That you do not know who I am. Echo.
You know what makes me feel a lot better too? I feel like the Harry Potter game does not look good to me. I feel like it just looks basic and shitty. Like the combat just looks like you run up, hit some buttons, and then it's done. Like, I don't know. It doesn't even look like a good game to me.
I think I'm going to start understanding the whole difference between games that I want to play for myself and games that I want to play for stream.
That's good.
For example, I want to play Harvestella a lot, which is this kind of like Final Fantasy Stardew Valley mix-up.
Yeah.
That I have no idea if it will go well on Twitch. But it has like some dungeon crawly kind of RPG, like JRPG stuff. And you have the whole sort of like, you have a farm and you need to farm and do things. Yeah. Kind of like, and you have this little town and you can interact with the town kind of thing. That I played the demo and I had so much fun with it. I hate it. I was like, damn it, I want to play this game. And I resigned myself to just buy it online because it's not coming to my country. And there's this other Square Enix game that I really found interesting, but it's like very boring for other people to watch, I think, which is called Dialfile Chronicle, which is basically like Fire Emblem with like a perspective from like League of Legends kind of gameplay. So it's like tactical RPG, but in real time, which was like the hook that got me like, oh wait, in real time, how do you do tactical RPG in real time? And it was basically that, like you're playing League of Legends with like some JRPG stuff mixed in. But it was really pretty. Like it was really Final Fantasy. Like the whole of like the cutscenes look like movies. This is the first time in like my gaming experience that it was like had so much quality in front of my eyeballs. It was like, whoa, and there's voice acting and there's like language options and all of this. What is this new world?
Wow, Quinn, really laying down the absolute slay on Hugh right there.
Yeah, I almost left the last part off, but then a little part of my heart was like, no, I don't think I hate you. I'm sorry.
Apply cold water to that sick burn, my friend.
Yeah.
Hugh's a good like test target for like being a little spicy to chat.
Yeah.
Hugh, do
It's,
I have your consent?
He's
to say-
inoculated me.
so
I feel
lovely.
much better being spicy to chat because
Cute.
Hugh's
Except
trained
when he
me.
talks about Breath of the Wild, and then he's not so lovely.
Yeah, you're allowed to
And then
light
I
weapons free on Hugh.
Yeah.
You can light Hugh right up. It's what he wants. He's in for it.
but Hugh, I like Hugh a lot.
We all like Hugh. Hugh's been here a long time. Hugh came into my stream.
He does sometimes
when I started.
like wake up and choose violence a lot.
Hugh came into my stream, I think before anyone else's, because I was playing Dark Souls before his name change, long ago. He was one of the OG here. It was Hugh and Van Sani, and then people I knew personally, and that was it.
Van Sani.
Picking a game to stream is actually it's a lot to think about. Like, I mean, that's why I'm happy that, like, I wanted to stream XCOM for the longest time, but it won't bring people in, and I don't like using that metric. But I was streaming to like 5 people, and so in the beginning, like, I what was I doing? But we all have communities now. We have a big shared community, so you'll have like 15 to 20 people in there hanging out with you, chatting and stuff. Even if it's like a little bit less, it's still fun. So play what you like, because that's what people really want to see. They want to like experience that stuff. And so one reason to not play a game you already mentioned, Cece, which is like, if you want to play it on stream and not off, it can be really sad. Like, I was playing Hades only online. I'm like, well, I want to play more of it, but I can't right now because
I mean,
it's not
that
stream
has
time.
happened for me with Pokemon, because I'm playing on a stream because I want to have it like the whole sort of like I want to have the bots and all of that, and because I wanted to sort of like share the experience. But then I will finish the stream and I will be like, I want to keep playing. Like, when can I stream again so I can keep playing Pokemon?
Yeah.
And then with the whole COVID thing was like, you know what? I'm sick. I deserve to do whatever I want because I'm feeling like shit. So I'll just play Pokemon. They're not going to mind. I'm just going to catch them up when I go back to stream when I'm feeling better.
Oh, that's
I'm
good,
nervous
Hugh.
to,
That's
to
golden.
stream the new Zelda game when it comes out.
Oh,
Why?
I'm not gonna stream it.
Me
I'm not
neither.
gonna stream it.
I won't stream it. I won't stream it. I promise.
I'm very
gonna-
excited.
I'm gonna do what I didn't do with Pokemon. I'm gonna take myself and like lock myself up and just play it for hours, binge play it, and then I'm going to come out and see what other people are doing. That's it. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, I mean,
Tell
that's
us
like,
now.
I think because when Zelda games come out, like Zelda games coming out are like the closest thing that I have to like a religious experience. Like, I love them. I lock myself away and I play for
love that.
so many hours. Be able to watch each other for like 2 weeks. I know that's what happened with Elden Ring too. But I mean, I can't not play it when it first comes out. But then also, like, if I didn't play it on stream, I would just not stream for a week, and I don't want to do that either. So I might just do like long ass fucking 12-hour streams, minimal
Wow.
chat interaction. You can watch if you want, but
Yeah.
I'll drag a comfy ass chair in here, get
It's a
myself
vibe.
nice and cozy, and just fucking go.
Yeah.
Why not YouTube it?
Yeah.
Like, maybe just like
I'm
record
gonna- because
record long
also,
play and cut it up.
I
and-
want to play it
No,
on.
just 2.
Yeah, I want to play it like on the best quality that I can. So I want to play it on the TV. I want to be like on my living room watching like the whole thing because it's going to be a visual experience as well, you know? So
Mhm.
I just want to have the whole experience. The game that I'm probably going to stream if it ever comes out and stops being a favorite dream is Silksong. I'm going to be like, the moment that thing drops, I'm going to like, okay, stream starting with and you will see me struggle. And see that I have like no skills for Metroidvanias. But yeah, that's the game that I know that shit drops and I'm going to like immediately start playing it. And I'm going to be like probably dealing with people trying to backseat me. I'm gonna have the whole Twitch experience of
Nah, shut it
people
down.
coming in and
Shut it down.
backseating me and
That
telling
makes-
me like, oh, what you didn't do this, what you didn't do that,
Shut
did
it
you know
down.
that you could do that, and you're like, oh, let me play the game.
Just ban.
Just calmly look into the camera and say,
Yep.
Eat it.
I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Stop that backseating.
Yeah, look right in their
It's gonna be
eyeballs.
tricky because a lot of my good, like a lot of good friends that I have, plus my fiance, are not going to be able to watch me because they're going to be playing Silksong as well. So I think like the main audience of those fierce weeks will be like people that are not playing the game but wanna watch the game. Because those people exist, I guess. And that's it.
What were you gonna say, Thades?
That if someone gives you shit about not doing a certain thing in the game, look right in the camera and say, I deliberately chose not to do that because I wanted to frustrate you. And then wait a moment and ban them.
Yeah.
Yeah. After a little while, they'll get the idea.
Yeah, I tried that too, and it doesn't stop the inscription backseaters.
That makes
That's-
me so
Oh, God,
upset. I'll
inscription
go
backseaters.
on to a tangent about that. That makes me so upset. That game
Yep,
is so good. How dare?
I need like such a long time away from it before I decide to go back, because it sucked the magic out of it. I was not having fun, which is very sad.
I'm so sorry. I will apologize on behalf for any of that because it's a really great fucking game.
I know. I'm sure it is, and I was loving
I know.
it.
It makes me so sassy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't even like spoilers so much. I mean, there was some that was like, use this item, you have to use it now. I'd be like, fucking pretend like I don't see it, and then, I guess I'll use it. And then, like, to fucking the game, at some point, the game changes to a very different type of thing. I don't want to spoil it for anyone else. And then the backseating, like, really had the potential to kick in, because you have to, like, build decks of cards to battle with, and be like, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. And I just, like, I couldn't anymore. So I shut it down.
You're not getting to experience your world. Like,
I know, and that's what makes me really worried about Tears of the Kingdom when the new Zelda comes out. But also, like, I'm going to be playing it when it comes out, and I'm gonna be doing long ass streams. I'm gonna be the person that people don't watch because I'm so far ahead, which is fine. If I have 2 people in my fucking chat and I'm playing a fucking new Zelda game, I will be so happy because I don't want it spoiled. I want to be ahead. I'm not gonna listen to backseating. I'll just stop looking at chat if I have to.
I was gonna say, just cancel it out. Just boop.
Yeah, close the
Just
chat
turn
window.
it off completely. Don't even have it up.
Sure.
Yep, I will absolutely do that because I'm not gonna have that shit ruined for me. No fucking way.
No.
I love how Hugh said that, like what he's saying in chat, and it sounds both comforting and menacing.
When it said, around this corner, there's a thing. Ah, Hugh, you got me again. I'm at you again.
Yeah, it won't only can really help when you're playing sort of like spoiler sensitive games.
Yeah,
but also it's kind of boring because the stream. I mean, you can interact with chat, and that's part of streaming as well.
Mm-hmm. And like, I don't know. Yeah, my favorite part of streaming is like when I play a Dark Souls game. The community is very good. I like talking to my chat while I play Dark Souls. When I played Undertale, I didn't get spoilers. I didn't get backseated, and it was one of my favorite streaming experiences. And so if it goes well, streaming the new Zelda game might be like my favorite experience of a lifetime. And it might just be me playing my game, talking to myself, and not reading chat.
That's valid.
Yeah.
enough. I wish. Oh my god!
Yeah.
I wish I saw Echo. You should totally play Wind Waker. I did that. I wish I would have saved Wind Waker for a little bit later. So I like. Oh, it was so good.
Oh, Wind Waker! Blast that music! It's got the best music of any Zelda game. Period.
It's
Don't
why
lie
it's
to me.
favorite
great.
Zelda. It's so nostalgic for her.
The whole process of like recording yourself, like experiencing new things, it's very fun, I think, as someone that is just starting. And having those reactions kind of live, like Picnic Fiance couldn't see when my Sprigatito evolved because he was doing yoga, and I was able to say like, I have a clip of that. You can check it out. You can see like my whole face journey when I saw that thing standing on 2 legs.
Yep.
And I could just like link it back to him, like, yeah, you can check it out, like I did this thing, or like, oh, that was a funny joke that I said, I can be funny sometimes, kind of thing. I got my first quote. Freddy made my first quote on stream.
What's
I
your
was
first
like,
quote?
oh yeah, it's about being a goblin and picking everything up because it's shiny.
Hell yeah!
That's my first
That's a good first quote.
Quinn, what's your first quote? Do you know off the top of your head?
Yeah, something out of context, something lewd. Just pick one of the 1,000 like nut quotes I have.
Right.
It's probably one of those.
Thaddes, do you have quotes?
Dad will never.
No,
have
he
quotes.
doesn't have
Try.
one.
The quote command works. It's there. Someone try quoting us right now.
I won't be fooled twice.
Oh, there it is. I guess I
Such as power of the stream, Dad.
I can't be quoted.
My first one is pee poo, LOL, because I did it for myself for a test one before I learned that you can't like erase it and still keep it. Like,
Oh no!
I like
so
woke.
if I could delete it and it would just say this quote does not exist, but then my number one quote would not exist.
My
So it's
first
pee-poo.
my first quote is, "Your uvula is what makes the gag of the reflex."
Your uvula
Yeah.
is what makes the gag
Yep.
of the reflex.
Full statement.
I'm into it.
Wait, where can you check them out? Like
If
you
you
need to go to the
the
box?
exclamation quote in your chat and then
Oh,
pick
in your own chat. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Does anyone know of any streamer who has a quote command where the quote commands are not almost exclusively used for sexualizing the streamer or the things they say? Because like Twitch has a built-in quote system. It's the clips. You can clip us. And clips tend to be funny moments, silly moments, and an occasional sexual innuendo that slips through, which is a more normal distribution of comedy for a collection of quotes. But quote systems are just databases of lewd shit. And that's like what it has become. Does anyone have...
I feel like the quote is like a better "that's what she said." Instead of just saying "that's what she said," when somebody quotes it, you're like, "What did I say? Oh, I did use the word "come" in a funny way without meaning to."
Sure.
Like I thoroughly enjoy it. Like I have so much fun with my quotes.
You
I
know
like the
what?
quote.
I get your point, Thaddes, but for me, clips are a little bit scary. In a way that I feel like, I mean, not that I don't like people making clips or that I don't make clips of myself, but as a like merely like a quoting system. Because I don't know why sometimes people are making the clip. Instead when people are quoting, it's like very like on the same moment, like, oh, I look at chat and I see the quote, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's not like weird or like, I don't know, trying to target me for something. Like I remember Fraji told me that Kenna, I think, got a clip when they were talking about Discord, which was obviously to try to sort of like
Yeah.
I don't know, weaponize or whatever, use that against you. So that kind of make clipping for me like a little bit scary. And I think I have like, you need to follow me for at least 10 minutes
To do
to
a clip.
be able to clip
Sure.
anything on my stream. But yeah, I like the quotes, but that's my main thing with the clipping. Like I get a little bit nervous whenever I get the whole sort of like, the amount of clips of this stream is this one.
That's-
like, well, why? What did I say?
That specific instance that happened with Kenna had nothing to do with the content of the clip and everything to do with just they wanted to be able to link the stream somewhere and show Kenna to somebody. That was the abuse factor they were using. But that's not the normal use case. You're gonna get two kinds of clips. One clip will be something that was like mildly amusing but poorly edited, because the clip system is really not great. And the other kind of clip you'll get is like, what is this? There's like 3 clips here and there's nothing happening. It's because someone clicked the clip button and then didn't mean to and then just closed the tab. And if anyone clicks the clip button, it makes a clip no matter what.
Yeah.
And so you'll
Somebody told
have
me
to
a
go through
very-
and delete clips kind of on the regular because that'll happen.
Yeah, I've done that because Picking a Fiance actually did that without meaning to, and so there was like a rant about Spanish in one of the Pokemon streams that he didn't mean to clip, and so yeah, I check regularly, like if not like right after the stream, then the day after, like the whole sort of like, okay, did any clip got made about the channel? Oh, is this one okay? I need to check them out and all of that.
Somebody told me a long time ago, just like whenever you end your stream, take like, it kind of gets hard to do and you can do whatever, but like somebody was like, yeah, take like 5 minutes, look at your clips. Like just like at the end, you shut everything down, go to your thing.
Yeah, the most recent 10.
Look at your clips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it depends on the amount of energy that you end up in
Oh,
doing
yeah,
that
for
stream.
sure.
Because if you're like completely exhausted, it's like, okay, no, just go to sleep. Go eat something, please.
Yeah.
I had mine once a month, maybe. It's a lot to sort through. If I did it once a night, it'd be easier. But I want to go to bed after the stream.
Yeah, it's the time.
Speaking of which, I want to go to bed right now. It's time.
Oh my gosh, it's bedtime.
It is bedtime.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't say
It's 1 a.m.
this.
here.
I am not going to stream after this one.
We're all going
I
to
know.
bed.
I'm sorry, but I'm actually fucking exhausted, and I want to go to bed too.
Let's all go to bed.
Are we all going to bed?
So tired.
I mean, I'm going to have nachos, and then I'm going to go to bed.
Ooh,
that sounds so nice.
Right?
Yeah.
I will not be sleeping in the cat tree. I will be back
Stream, Michael.
on Sunday. Probably I'll start a little earlier, and I don't know what I'm playing. It's 1 of 2 games. We'll see how I'm feeling on Sunday when the time comes. And Quinn, you gonna join me on Sunday?
Oh yeah.
So there you go, Dad.
Hells
Son
yeah.
times on Sunday at the usual time. Cece, when's your next stream? When is it?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Late for me, not late for all of you. Like 6 p.m. EST, because that's when it's getting like. It's better. It's a better time, I think.
I like it.
Although I do end up like very hyped up afterwards, and then I have a hard time getting sleep.
Yeah, that will get better for you. I want to say it got better for me. But I know what you mean. For a little while, I was so hyped about the stream, I couldn't sleep for hours. And Master Grawb, when will you stream again?
I think I'm gonna stream. I think I'm gonna stream on Sunday as well. I did a weekend stream last weekend, just kind of on a whim, and I liked it. I kind of want to mess around some new time, so I might want to go like even earlier for me than normal. I want to, if I can, try to go live at like noon Pacific on Sunday, or like
Oh heck yeah, let's do it.
maybe
Let's
like
go.
noon Pacific or 2 Pacific or something. But like noon, I want to try a daytime stream, which I haven't done in like 2 years.
Oh shit.
Like,
Well, I'll tune in for that. I'll be around.
I mean, for me, it's always better that you stream earlier, because then I don't have to stay up until
because you have to.
All right,
yes,
friends.
I have to.
Let's go see Dusty. Dusty's a friend of Ken we haven't seen in a while, but they are playing Pokemon Scarlet Violet, and I know we had mixed feelings about it.
Rated me like 2 days ago. That's awesome.
Well, let's go. Let's get him. We're going to get him. Okay, we're zooming. Ready, goodbye? Ready, goodbye. Let's go, okay, bye. Let's go.